Let's get nasty on a Thursday. It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Andrew Marsh, Kerry Davis, and Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. 202, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. The Four Nations Face-Off Championship game between Team USA and Team Canada is set for tonight, 7 o'clock local time, and we'll carry the game for you right here on 101 ESPN with the pregame show starting right after our show at 6 o'clock. It'll be held at Boston's TD Garden. Highly anticipated matchup following that heated preliminary round game in which the U.S. secured a 3-1 victory and ended Canada's 17-game winning streak in the best-on-best tournaments. Jamie, you more than anybody would know what it would mean for U.S. hockey if Team USA were to win tonight. Can you explain kind of the magnitude of everybody tuned in for this game? If Team USA were to win, what does it mean for U.S. hockey overall?
I mean, it's a massive, massive boost. I mean, the Canadian Team Canada overall, I use this in the office, they're like the heavyweight champ. They haven't been beaten in a long time when they've got their best on best. Like, they didn't win the last Olympics, but the real NHLers weren't at the last Olympics.
Yeah.
So they haven't been beaten in a long time. And the last time Canada-U.S. faced off was, I believe, the 2010 Olympics, where Sidney Crosby scored the overtime winner in Vancouver to beat Team USA. So for that amount of time, I mean, Canada's been at the top of the food chain. So for USA Hockey, who, by the way, in the last decade, I'm not going to say they've leapfrogged Hockey Canada, but, man, it's neck and neck now. Like, you look at the amount of kids that are drafted to the NHL every year from the college ranks, the USHL, like the junior hockey, college hockey. You look at the amount of U.S.-born kids that are playing junior hockey in Canada. There has been a massive shift as far as the powerhouse of, like, the youth hockey and, I would say, potential NHLers. Now, it hasn't quite hit the NHL yet. Canada still has the most players in total in the NHL, but the U.S. is right there. And, like, the likes of Austin Matthews, the Kachuk boys, like, you just work your way down. All these kids are idolizing these players. USA Hockey has a lot to gain with a victory tonight. They really do. And, you know, like, I'm a Canadian, born in Canada, but I have worked alongside USA Hockey for over 11 years now, helping develop USA Hockey players.
So what do you think is different now? Like, what has changed? Because you understand the landscape of not only U.S. hockey but also Canadian hockey, and you have observed hockey in several different countries, Jamie. Mm-hmm. So what is it? Why does it feel like we're kind of reaching this tipping point in a great way for U.S. hockey? So not that the sport hasn't been popular before.
It's really exploded. And here's why. Two reasons. Gary Bettman showed a lot of guts expanding into non-traditional hockey markets. You look at the two teams in Florida. You look at the Phoenix Coyotes. That was great at first till they sold the team, and then it ultimately ended up in the hands of a donkey who couldn't run the team right. But still, now they end up in Utah, which not a traditional hockey market, but the LA Kings, they were there forever. When did it start to soar? When Wayne Gretzky got there. The Anaheim Ducks, like all of these franchises that would have never been in the NHL before are in the NHL because of Gary Bettman. He had a vision to do this stuff. And what happens is these players who play on these non-traditional teams, or even in traditional hockey markets, they're staying there. Post-career, these guys are retiring. So then you've got a lot of knowledge to help grow the game and help teach kids how to play hockey. Like here in St. Louis, if we just isolate that for a second, you know, when the Blues came here in 1967, guys started to retire slowly, but they stayed here. Why? Because they love St. Louis. And then the first wave of the Blake Dunlop stuck around. It's like Larry Patey, Mike Zook. These guys stayed in St. Louis and started to grow the game of hockey. Bruce Affleck's another great name. And then it was on to the next wave, which was the Basil McRae's, the Jeff Browns. And you had Keith Kachuk, Al McKinnon, Scott Mellenby, myself, Bear Jackman, Jamal Mayers, Andy McDonald. What other organization, what other city has that kind of a lineup when it comes to coaching hockey? You look at Arizona. until the NHL team moved, but they have like 30 or 40 alumni that are living in Arizona, and you go play youth hockey tournaments, these showcases or whatever it is. The Arizona teams are good. The Phoenix Junior Coyotes are really good. They're spitting out players like Shane Doan's son came up through there. Austin Matthews, born in Arizona, playing hockey in Arizona, and he's one of the best players in the world. It's because the teams were put into these markets, and then the other markets as well had players retire in those areas. So all of this Canadian influence, as well as U.S. influence, has started to mold the hockey, what you see today for USA Hockey. And I will say this, USA Hockey got ahead of the game. Canada was sitting there so proud of themselves. That's our game. We don't have to change a thing. Well, how's that working out for you?
Sound like the Cardinals.
I was about to.
Yeah. But how's that working out for you?
Seriously.
The last 2 World Junior Championships, you haven't really been a part of it. You've been embarrassed, quite honestly. A lot of your 18U challenges and things like that, you're not doing well. The USA Hockey decided they're going to go to skill-based model called the ADM program. Cut the ice in half. We play 2 smaller rinks. The kids touch the puck twice as much. And every other practice, you're doing nothing but skills. I know this because I was part of the crew when it first came here, was on the board that helped create some of the curriculum for this stuff. Hockey Canada was like, no, that's not how you play hockey. Yeah, the full ice. I don't care if one kid can skate faster than everybody and he touches the puck the whole game and nobody else does. That's how you learn. Really? That's how you stink. Think about it. Imagine playing football. You play wide receiver, but you never get the ball. You're basically running track and field at that point. Right?
Or blocking.
Whatever.
90s.
You have to, the touches are what matter. And so that's what USA Hockey started from the grassroots, man, like 5 and 6-year-olds, and it's worked its way up. In full cycle now, you're seeing the evolution of what is USA Hockey, which is why tonight's game is so huge. This is like that last step of like, boom, we're here.
I think Jamie's excited. What do you think?
Yeah, I would say so too. Well,
what do you mean, Carey? How many hours till puck drop?
You made reference to something that we all, me, Carey, and Marsh, we kind of like taken aback when you said that Team USA is actually playing a certain style. And you said it's more of a Canadian style.
Oh yeah, look at their roster. Look at the way they're built.
Traditionally.
And look at the way they're playing. The Kachuk boys, you might as well put them in Moose Jaw, Saskatchewan right now. I like Moose Jaw. It's a favorite of mine.
Yeah.
But think about it. Those 2 guys.
I like Regina.
Regina's great.
Yeah.
Me too,
Regina
Anthony.
Pats.
It's a great place.
Home of our very own Reed Lowe. Wasn't he Regina?
Yeah, I think it was Moose Jaw.
Moose Jaw.
Yeah,
He's Moose Jaw.
He's Moose Jaw.
Somebody's from Regina. Somewhere.
There's a lot of them, for sure.
Yeah.
My bad, Reed.
No, but you look at the Kachuk brothers and the style that they play. That's how Canada used to play, and they used to beat the crap out of every team they played against. Go back to like the early mid-90s. Eric Lindros, John LeClaire, Adam Foote, Rob Blake, running around the ice just demolishing guys. They bullied their way. Not anymore. The U.S. bullied Canada the other night. And Colin Parayko stuck up for himself, did a hell of a job. In fact, he won that fight hands down. But bottom line is the USA is initiating all of this stuff. So they're playing a very Canadian brand of hockey, but they also have the horses to play that skill game too. Whereas Canada, who are you afraid of on the Canadian team? Who are you afraid of?
From a physical standpoint, nobody. From a speed standpoint, several.
That's right. It's speed and skill. How'd that go in game 1 against the U.S.?
It did not work.
It didn't work. Now, does it work tonight? Maybe. But the U.S. team is developing skilled players that are playing with that edge to them. And that's Canada's kind of gotten away from that. And this is why you're seeing steps taken backwards by Hockey Canada overall.
Yep.
So what happens tonight, though, if Canada wins? Does this all go out the window, or does this give...
No. It has Canada sleeping with one eye open, is what it does. And what I mean by that is they go, okay, we learned a few things. We got away with it. We won. We're still the heavyweight champ. But that U.S. team is legit. And when the next time we play international competition, that Russian team's going to be legit too. And so you got to smarten up. If you're Canada, you got to put together a better roster, a little more physicality, get some heaviness in that lineup. But yeah, so nothing really changes except for if Canada does nothing after that, if they win and just think, that's because we're Canada, then the next time it won't be the same result.
Health-wise, USA, they pretty healthy. I know they had some injuries. Brady Tkachuk, Matthew Tkachuk missed some time in the game before. How are they doing in terms of their health?
They're good to go tonight. The only guy that's out is Charlie McAvoy, who got an infection in his shoulder, weird craziness. Was in the hospital for like 2 days. He's out.
That was infectious.
He sent a tweet out. Of course, it was awesome. He's driving along the road in Boston, and he had #Freebird. I'm out.
And Quinn Hughes won't be available.
No, he wasn't even. He didn't even clear medically.
Yeah.
So Jake Sanderson it is.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Let's roll.
And Cale McCarr, who was not in that game on Saturday. That is also a different dynamic to this game.
He could be a problem.
Yeah.
He's Anthony. I don't know if you've ever seen him play.
I have.
He's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when he was a rookie against the Blues, that playoff series.
Yeah.
That was rough.
He was evasive.
He was very evasive.
He was like a magician. He was there, then he wasn't.
How does he have that much space?
I don't know. I hate guys like that. They're so good.
All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Oli Marmol has a message for you, the fans of the Cardinals. He's basically calling you out. You'll hear from him next on 101 ESPN.
Hey, it's Kerry Davis, and I want you to be safe out there on the road. Seen some cars spinning out, seen some cars in ditches. If you end up having any car issues, any maintenance issue, anything that you need taken care of, you need to know about my good friends at All Things Appearance. They can help you with standard maintenance, detailing, ceramic coating, paint, maybe dent repair, or even collision repair. They're the people that you need to call. You can reach out to the owner, Jeff. His name is Jeff, 636-248-5051, or online at allthingsappearance.com. Jeff is a great person. He wants all of his customers to make sure that you're on the road, that you're taken care of in the best way possible, getting you in and out. That number that I just gave you can be called at any time, and they are available for pickup and delivery, and can also offer towing when necessary. You can reach out to them on the weekends. Most companies are unavailable at that time, and Jeff wants me to let you know that he can work with you and your deductibles when possible, work with your warranty companies, making sure that you get the best price possible. And again, you can get back on the road in a car that is running well, running properly, and safe and sound in the best way possible. Give them a call today, 636-248-5051, or reach out to them online at allthingsappearance.com.
Fastlane on 101 ESPN. Katie Wu and Trevor Rosenthal have their podcast called Cards Territory, and they had Oli Marmol on recently, and one of the things that they discussed was Oli's message to the Cardinals fan base. Here's what Oli had to say.
Like, when I think about St. Louis, when I think about what the norm is, the difference is this play on youth, right? Like, it is going to be a youthful team. It'll lack some experience to the degree that we've seen in past years. That's different, but that doesn't mean it's a bad thing. And I think what's going to be important, and I'll find a better way to kind of articulate this, but it's filling up that stadium regardless of what's going on, so that these young players know what it feels like to play in St. Louis. So they understand what it feels like to play in front of, like, Cardinal Nation, right? So if I'm a Burleson, if I'm a Masyn Winn, if I'm a Jordan Walker, if I'm a Herrera, like, you go down that list of young guys, like, I want them to feel, my first time experiencing it was in 2011. They flew Amber and I, prior to having kids, to the World Series, and we sat in the stands, and it was incredible. I mean, it's a drug. Like, you literally sit there in the stands. I remember looking around, and this place was going wild, towels everywhere. I mean, it was just nuts. And I remember looking at my wife like, this is all I want. Like, this is what it's about right here. Like, I want to do this. And it makes you strive for that exact thing, right? So when you hold this seat now, I want them to experience that version of Cardinal Nation, of we're shooting for that, playing in front of this style of fan base, packed house, that excitement, that energy, because it's an exciting group, and they're hungry. Are they going to make mistakes? Absolutely. But these guys are hungry to leave their mark on this franchise, and I think we're going to see a decent amount of them do exactly that.
That was Oli Marmol, president of the BFIB.
Come on, man.
Now, you know what, though? What he's saying is true. What he's saying is true. Is there a little bit of, I shouldn't say this because I don't know. In my opinion, is he trying to grab the Cardinals baseball fan, like, verbally, and be like, hey, man, we need you guys. Mm-hmm. Like, I know what it can be here. You know, we need you guys to get behind this team. We know people are upset. We know you're not happy with the direction of the team the last couple of years, but this could be different. But these guys, these young kids, they need you. I understand that. As far as, like, not placating, but pick a different word that's maybe a little better, softer than placating.
Pacifying.
Okay, there we go. Don't know if that's quite the right word, but he's right. And this is the same things that we tell some of the new Blues players every year. And this year in particular was great. Doug Armstrong invited all of the Blues alumni to a lunch with all of the current teams. And we got to sit there and take the floor at any point and talk about what it's like to be a St. Louis Blue, what it's like to play in St. Louis. And it sounds an awful lot like that. Like, work your ass off. The fans here are incredible. Give them a reason to go to the building. And then after that, give them a reason to frickin' cheer. Give them a reason to stand up. Mm-hmm. It doesn't matter what Army signed or traded or whatever. It doesn't matter what Mo did. If you show up and you play your guts out, I will say this, St. Louis fans will be there, and they'll be able to go through a retool, transformation, whatever you want to call it. Like, look, the Blues, the crowds have been good this year. Are they sellouts every night? No, but they're pretty close, and that's a team that is on the cusp of not making the playoffs for the third year in a row. But I believe that Blues fans think that the players are trying and that Army's actually trying too. So I get what Ollie's trying to do here by telling the fans that.
Yeah, I get it too.
Yeah. No, the answer for me is no.
For me, so
wow, you guys are
well, no, here's the thing, I love Oli. I love what he's saying. I get what he's trying to say, but if you're asking fans to show up, I looked up a record. He mentioned the World Series. Who the hell doesn't want to be there, right? It's a packed house. You make it to you make it to the World Series, they will come. Now, if you go to July 14th, 2023, and you're 38-53, I don't think they're coming. Like, I don't think that they would show. It's hot as hell, Jamie. It's hot in St. Louis in July.
Yeah, I ain't going.
To watch a team that's not performing well, who the hell wants to see that? Now, if you're winning, night game maybe, but midday?
No chance.
In July, kids out of school, yeah, we ain't going
Carey,
there.
I can't stand in this studio.
I had to take my sweater off. It was so hot. It's so damn hot.
Well, we got a new office, so they had to compromise something.
Okay. But yeah, so I understand what he's saying. You want them to show up. They will show up for opening day because, that's tradition. That's Cardinal baseball. That's one of the best opening days in all of sports. I don't care. It just is. It's something that you look forward to. So people will be there. But if you're not winning, and I do agree with you to a degree, Jamie, if you're playing hard, younger players playing hard, people will show up. But winning is what gets people to show up and show out. Winning is what gets people to be the loud, raucous fan base that it feels like it's a playoff game, but it's September and we're not there yet. But it feels like it because you know what's on the line, because you're winning, because you have a chance to do something special. When you're not winning, this is a life lesson. Nobody gives a damn.
No, you're right.
It sounds unfair. It sounds rude, and it sounds harsh. Nobody gives a damn. The great poet Cornell Haynes from St. Louis once said,
What?
2 is not a winner, and 3 nobody remembers.
Yeah.
Hey, great poet. Nelly, you heard of him. Cornell Haynes. 2 is not a winner, 3 nobody remembers. And if you finish 5th, who the hell cares, right?
Damn.
Number 1. That's all they care about. 2 is not a winner, and 3 nobody remembers. Yeah.
I'm going downtown,
Number
baby.
1. That same Nelly. Yeah.
Go
Great
down,
poet.
baby.
He's a poet. Yeah. You got to know that. Nobody gives a damn, man.
Yeah, no,
You not winning?
to add to what
Dropped
Carey's.
his real name.
Cornell
What's
Haynes.
wrong with you?
Yeah.
I'm glad you did it that way, because
Yeah.
at first I'm like, who?
I was like, that's
and
what I
then
was
when you
like,
said it, I'm like,
As soon as he said a poet, I'm like, who the hell is Carey talking about?
he's right.
You don't think
Yeah,
I'm
Nelly's
cultured
poet.
enough to know poetry?
No.
You're probably right.
No chance. Name 3
You wouldn't be
poets.
on this show
Edgar
if you
Allan
were.
Poe.
Okay, name one that isn't popular.
Hey, well, if you're not
Walt
popular,
Whitman.
how the hell?
Because-
Walt Whitman. Yeah. There you go. See, that's 2. We work together.
What do you mean it's brutal?
Yeah. I can find another one.
WW.
Yeah. Definitely got that one confused.
Yeah, I think
Dr. Seuss.
as I was listening, yeah,
We
Breaking
got
Bad
3.
reference.
I know, yeah.
Yes.
Go ahead, Anthony. Sorry.
I was listening to Oli there. Nothing against Oli, but it's a big no for me.
It's a no for me, dog.
no for me, dog.
It's a big no.
Hey, dog.
No.
You guys are brutal. Give the guy a freaking chance.
Cardinals fans aren't stupid. Like,
I
come
didn't
on.
say they were stupid. Ollie's just trying to get the confidence back in the fan base.
This is a fan. Okay, win.
No.
Win.
Please.
So hang on a second. Ollie has spent 2 years as a puppet, according to all of the Cardinals fans. And he had no say, by the way. Ollie had no say in signing a bunch of old guys, recycled parts,
right?
Nothing to do with that. Now, Ollie finally probably is happy to just have players that actually want to be at the ball field that aren't 100 years old. He wants the fans to show up. That's all.
100 years old. It's hot outside, Jamie. I just told you.
No,
that.
the players were 100 years old.
I thought you meant the fans.
No, I said to watch players that are 100 years old.
Well, in fairness, if they're 100, nobody's coming to see that.
Well, 2 of them totaled that almost last year. They're in your rotation, too.
Oh, God.
This isn't against Oli. The fan base that had to watch this front office.
But then what's the
constantly
change
put
then,
out
Anthony?
an average.
Okay, but then what's the change?
An average product.
When do they come back, Anthony?
All right, hey,
do they
I'll tell you
only
what.
come back when they start winning?
I'll tell you what.
Because that may not be for 2 years.
We're all consumers here.
Yeah.
I got a product for you.
Oh, God, here we go.
Used to be good. Used to be a real good product, worth buying. Price has never been higher. Product has never been worse. You want to buy it? I got it right here in my bag. You're a consumer.
And you are a
Cardinals.
businessman.
Yeah, but the problem here is that this is a play on words.
You
because
want it?
the Cardinals aren't a product, like a material thing that you buy.
It's a crap product. It's a crap product. I've made it
So
with
let's go a
cheaper
different
material.
direction.
I made it with cheaper material. You used to buy it in droves. You're loyal. You want this thing?
Let's go a different direction.
Say it.
Can I have my say? Are you just going to hog the microphone all day?
After
Let's go
you.
a different direction. How about a stock?
Sure.
A stock that's plummeting. Wouldn't be the best time to buy it? Yeah, it would, because you know it's going to rise again. And when it does rise, you will be rich. You'll be fulfilled.
Do you?
You'll be the BFIB again.
You don't
I
ever
need-
stop being the BFIB, just so you know that.
When the
I don't know if that
When
stock.
the stock lowers, it will, especially when it's traditionally a good stock. So if, let's say IBM, okay? Pretty solid rise. They have a dip. That's when you buy it, because you know IBM historically will start to rise again. That's the way I view the Cardinals right now. That's what I'm doing for this year, at least the first part of this year. And if it still starts looking like crap and the effort ain't there, then I'm with you. But at this point, when they're dipping, I'm going to buy a little bit of stock. Not a lot, just a little bit. Spark my interest. Show me that you care. And I think they're going to have guys on the field that look like they care.
I'll tell you what, one statement from Oli, and all of a sudden, Jamie's back in. That's a shame.
Stock. Anthony, I'm a businessman. I buy stuff when it's on the way down because on the way up, baby, it's the ride's going to be
Management
wonderful.
has changed. Company's not the same.
Wolf of Wall Street. Remember that one?
I do. That guy was doing some illegal stuff.
Some would say he was just celebrating.
Some was saying he was ripping people off and then celebrating.
He was buying stocks at the right time. Was he being told about it? Yeah, I don't know. Allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly. Although I did see him on TV the other day.
Yeah.
The actual Wolf of Wall Street talking about stocks. He's back, baby.
Here's what you need to do. You know what? I'm not going to take your advice. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. We're taking your mic drops, too, by the way. Mic drop question. Has Oli Marmol convinced you, like he has Jamie, to get behind the Cardinals this season? Has Oli Marmol convinced you, like he has Jamie, to get behind the Cardinals this season? Leave us a Scott Lee Heating Company mic drop via the 101 app. That's the Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's 101 ESPN app. Marsh has got what's trending for you next, including a huge win for Mizzou last night in basketball. That's next on 101 ESPN.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. Tonight, it's the United States taking on Canada in the Four Nations Face-Off Championship game. We'll have that one for you right here on 101 ESPN. Pregame starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7. A huge win for Mizzou last night. We're going to discuss that next right here in What's Trending. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at Londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
What are the hot topics in the sports world?
What in the wide world of sports is going on here?
It's time to find out with
What's Trending? Brought to you by Elite Comfort Experts. Heating and cooling with no gimmicks, just guarantees. EliteComfortExperts.com.
Welcome back to the Fast Lane here on 101 ESPN with Anthony Stalter, Jamie Rivers, and Carey Davis. I'm Andrew Marsh, and it's time for What's Trending. Gentlemen, the Mizzou Tigers take down Alabama. Number 4 ranked Alabama, by the way.
Heck
number
yeah.
4. 110-98. A huge win for the Tigers last night in Columbia.
That was, whether you're a Mizzou hater like Carey or you hope that the local team does well, that was a fun game to watch overall. It really was. Sorry, Mizzou hater. Typically. Yesterday he was nice.
All the love in the world.
You
yesterday.
did.
Mark Mitchell,
Yeah.
fantastic. So he delivers a career-high 31 points. I thought he showcased his aggressive play, his ability to draw fouls were there. So he drew 8 fouls without committing any himself. Scored most of his points from the paint and the free throw line. Alabama was lights out too. I mean, at times they couldn't miss from the three-point range. Grill, 25 points, 10 boards, had 3 steals, strong supporting role alongside Mitchell. I mean, this Mizzou team can beat you in a variety of ways. The balance is there. It's not, hey, if you just shut down one player on this offense, you're going to be fine. You're gonna have to. I mean, if somebody gets hot, even if you try to double that player, they can kick it out and they can beat you in a variety of ways. Whether it's from inside the paint like last night or from the 3-point line. Mizzou's fun to watch, man.
Yeah, I mean, watching Jalen Milroe not be able to throw the ball last night and Kalen DeBoer, he's not been the same since Nick Saban left the Alabama. It's kind of flipped. Alabama just ain't been
basketball.
the same. Oh, Mizzou won in basketball?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, football season's over.
Oh.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting Mizzou to be good in basketball.
Well, they are.
They've
Gary.
been good. No, they've been good. I gave them credit yesterday, man.
You might as well hop on board.
I'm not doing that.
Illinois has not played well.
Illinois, from what I've been told, they're dealing with some illnesses throughout the entire team. Allegedly, Jackson was saying they don't even shake hands after the game, which is weird because you bump into people and sweat for 40 minutes, but then you don't shake hands after the game.
Okay.
Kind of a dumb
Let me
rule.
take you back a few years.
That was dumb.
I'll talk about dumb.
Really crazy. But too close. Back up. We've been standing here all day. I don't know. But either way, yeah. Mizzou has been playing. I said when I watched them play, it was Oklahoma a couple of weeks ago. They played defense outstanding. I said this yesterday. They did an outstanding job. I said they have been playing at a high level. They are probably working themselves into a 2 or 3 seed, maybe a 2 seed in the tournament, depending on how well they continue to play down the stretch. And I don't think they can get to a 1 seed because there are some other teams in front of them that are really good. But a 2 seed going into the tournament now, I mean, we have seen them be a 2 seed before. Not saying that that's going to happen again, but Norfolk State, they kind of knocking.
Why'd you gotta go there?
I'm just saying, they've been a 2 seed before. Didn't turn out too well. But maybe this year will be different.
You can't help yourself, can you?
I can't.
No, you can't.
Nope, I can't.
It's
I
actually
wish them the
pointless.
best.
It's pointless
I wish
asking.
them the best.
No, you don't.
My daughter goes to Mizzou. I wish her the best. All the Tigers. Go Tigers.
Yeah.
You don't mean that. There's only one thing that you actually meant. And
I wish my daughter the best.
That is the only friggin' thing.
Tiger.
All right, so Carey,
And she should be.
Yeah.
But she still, if you love your daughter, which you do.
I do.
You got to at least give Mizzou some props. That's her
gave
school.
them props. They won. They beat Alabama. Jalen Milroe was throwing interceptions all over.
Here we go again.
It's basketball.
it's basketball.
I thought at first when you started talking about Jalen Milroe, I go, does he play basketball too?
No, he does not. Carey, even you, I mean, you had an epic rant the other day about how Illinois didn't get to the...
They stink.
They didn't get to the line.
Yeah.
They didn't go to the paint. And last night, Tigers shoot over 60% from the floor. They outscore Alabama 31-15 at the free throw line. This has got to be a team you have to appreciate just a little bit.
I appreciate the work that they do. I gave them all the credit I could give yesterday.
He can't root
They
for
played
him.
a great game.
He maxed
beat
out
the number.
yesterday.
I tapped out.
You did.
I gave you everything I
Maxed
got.
out on the
You
bench.
did.
You're not going to go back again today. I get it.
But it was
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Too much stress, too much strain.
Right.
You know, you get,
Shoulder.
you pull back.
Yeah.
You know when to pull back? Yeah, you know about it, Jamie.
No, not really.
Me neither.
Marsh, you got anything else for us here in What's Trending?
I do. Let's get to the Bruce Gradkowski news that came out. Former Battlehawks offensive coordinator. He is now the offensive assistant with the Detroit Lions. So that's pretty cool news. But obviously, this is a shakeup for the Battlehawks this upcoming season.
Yeah.
Anthony, there's a spot for you.
Hey, this is your opportunity.
Carey doesn't think I could do it, so.
Well, I didn't know Bruce was leaving. So
It's totally different now.
Well, no, it's you're
He left last week.
I didn't know. You're good.
We talked about it.
Nah, we didn't.
No, we didn't. I wasn't here.
Carey wasn't paying attention.
Why do you think we got to the point of me
Damn sure
being the
wasn't paying
OC?
attention. Was that what happened?
Yes.
Jimmy, you remember?
No, I wasn't here.
Remember, it's one of the things we learned. I learned that Carey doesn't think I could be the OC.
I do remember that.
Thank you.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, so they
What day was
This
that?
got awkward.
What day was that? It was
Yeah.
sometime last week.
Man, I couldn't tell you what I did 45 minutes
That's
ago.
fine. That's fine.
True that.
They hired they promoted their tight ends coach to be the OC. So I guess you get continuity.
Well,
see.
the tight ends coach is open then. Nah?
Anthony,
No,
you like tight ends.
I've never. Of course, versatile.
Yeah.
Especially ones that actually block
Travis
and can
Kelce's
catch.
your favorite one.
Travis Kelce's a
Absolutely.
receiver, but George Kittle, outstanding tight
Great
end.
tight end.
Yeah. Rob Gronkowski, an actual
Maybe the
tight
best
end.
tight end.
Maybe.
Kyle Pitts, he's up there.
He's
Kellen
up there.
Winslow, have something to say about that, but still. Kellen Winslow.
No.
Senior.
Senior. Yeah, not junior.
You watch that footage of Gronk. He is quite possibly the best
What about
tight
Tony
end.
Gonzalez?
He was great.
Shannon Sharp?
No,
You
Greg.
think Shannon's a
Shannon-
receiver as well?
No Gronk, though.
He could block a little bit.
Yeah, but
Guys,
he was more...
He was more of a receiver.
Yeah.
Gronk was a mutant.
I know. Gronk is one of the best, if not the best. I'm just saying Kellen Winslow
No,
was.
you don't think
I didn't say
Antonio
he was
Gates?
bad. I said Gronk was good.
There's a lot of tight ends.
Yeah.
Some lot of...
Gronk, Winslow, Gates, Gonzalez.
And you put Gronk as number one?
I do. I look at it, the categories. The blocking ability, first and foremost.
Yeah, nobody cares about blocking.
Gronk was
He was an
unbelievable.
outstanding blocker.
Unbelievable.
Nobody cares about that.
Yeah, but they do. Especially when they line up.
Why? It's the
Especially
tight
when the
end
other
spot.
team
We're not
lines
talking about
up.
receivers.
You run away from the tight
You
end.
go
You
back
cut
a
off the
couple-
back end and keep your mouth shut is what you do as a tight end. You don't have to worry about nobody tight end blocking.
When
You know
other
who
team-
blocks? The offensive line.
I'll talk to you.
Please do.
When the other team lines up their defensive end in a spot, their best defensive end, against the tight end who they think can't block, and by the end of the game, the tight ends run that guy's show, I'd say he's a pretty good blocker.
I would say so too,
I'll
Jamie.
tell you this. If you line a
Well
tight
said,
end
Jamie.
up against a defensive end and that's your game plan, you probably got a terrible game
He
plan.
did it. They literally did it with Gronk in Tampa Bay when they won that Super Bowl, and then in Patriots the 1 year, all he did was almost block the whole frigging game.
Well, he's a lineman then. You might well change his number to 76.
But he also had 2 touchdowns.
I want my tight end catching passes.
Listen, I know you hate kickers, okay? But why do
No,
you, what's your problem with tight ends?
I love tight. Heath Miller is my guy. His
have a weird
brother-in-law
thing with tight
sent
ends.
me a text the other day.
He sure does.
Love tight ends. Heath
Kerry
Miller, one of
prefers
the
wide
greatest tight
receivers,
ends.
I think.
Nah, I love tight ends.
Okay, so Heath Miller could do both.
Yeah. tight ends are like fullbacks. And then they started moving. Well, you know what?
I might have like him a little more then.
You might be right.
Thank
you
you.
might be right. I might have a gripe because the moment they started moving those tight ends, we're going to call him an H-back.
Yes.
He's a damn tight end. He can't block like a damn running back or a fullback. Put his ass on the line of
That's
scrimmage
your issue.
next to the tackle. You going to line him up behind the guard and the right tackle, behind the guard and tackle, and tell me that he's an H-back? No, he's a fullback. But you need to put his ass up there because he's a tight end. He's not a fullback. That's why we don't have jobs. Yep, you might have solved it just now. But I do love Heath Miller.
I basically was your therapist there.
Yeah, that was some therapeutic.
We really didn't get anywhere, guys.
We went back far enough.
I still got a lot more.
Yeah, I know.
Something unlocked in CD.
You might be
We
right.
figured out why you don't like the tight end position.
I do love the tight ends. When they're actual tight, I don't like those damn H-backs.
There you go.
Get your ass out of the backfield. Hell you doing back here?
If they didn't
Who hurt you?
I just told you.
H-backs.
Clearly.
All right, Marsh, you got anything else for us?
Nope, we're good to go.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
I'm tapped out.
Kerry's got more.
Plenty more. Thanks, sir.
Given the lack of, let me rephrase, given the fading interest in the Cardinals right now, the fading interest, the rise in apathy for the Cardinals, and Blues fans are hanging on, but it looks like the Blues will likely miss the playoffs this year.
Bite your tongue.
Looks like the Blues will likely miss the playoffs this
Bite
year.
your tongue.
Does City SC
Run here soon.
have to take advantage of this situation? I say no. I think people are going to show up anyways. That's next on 101 ESPN. I absolutely love the Arch Madness tournament. It's coming here March 6th through the 9th. They've got a bunch of different sessions going on, starting up with that Thursday, March 6th, and it runs through the championship game on March 9th, which is a Sunday. I've spent a lot of time at the Missouri Valley Conference tournaments, whether I'm broadcasting or, one of the title games I appeared as a fan and happened to be a buzzer beater. The games are usually exciting. And they've got a family fun pack offer for you. It's $104. You get 4 single session tickets, 4 large sodas, and 4 large popcorn. So you can take the family there. You can enjoy some family fun basketball. Maybe you're an alumni of one of the teams that's playing, so you can choose that game if you want, and root on your college team. When it comes to the Missouri Valley Conference tournament, again, it's always a great event, one of the best sporting events, in my opinion, here in St. Louis, and it's held each and every year at Enterprise Center. So make sure you check out that family fun pack. Again, $104, get you the 4 single session tickets for your family, 4 large sodas, and 4 large popcorns for the Arch Madness tournament. Again, March 6th through the 9th. It's Masyn on 101 ESPN. City SC takes on Colorado this Saturday night at home at Energizer Park at 7:30. And with the apathy setting in for Cardinals fans, and they really, I don't know if this setting in is probably not even the right term for it. I think it is long set in. And the Blues, unfortunately, trending toward a season in which it looks like they won't make the playoffs. Does City SC have to take advantage on the pitch? It depends on what we're talking about. Because City SC fans, the soccer fans are going to show up. St. Louis is a soccer hotbed. We've said this from day one. I don't think attendance takes a dip. Yeah, it would be nice. It'd be great if City SC had a similar season like they did in their inaugural year. But I don't think they absolutely positively have to cash in on the fact that the Blues might miss the playoffs again or the Cardinals might be, 500 or below. I don't. I think people are going to show up. I think people love going to the park. I think they love going to cheer, and everybody always talks about what a great time it is, and the energy levels are high and all that. I don't think so.
So I always think of it like you have people that are just Cardinal fans. You have people that are just Blues fans, and then you have people that are just City fans, right? And the people that are just those fans are going to show up regardless, in my opinion. Like, they're still going to show up and celebrate and be a part of their team. I think where City can capitalize is if they do have that season similar to what they had a few years ago, where you get the Cardinal fan to say, well, I ain't going to the Cardinals game. Son, you want to go to the City game? Son, the Blues stunk this year. You want to go see sorry, Jamie. The Blues didn't make the playoffs. That was harsh. That was too much. That don't say.
I mean, they're right at 500, Kerry.
I didn't mean it that way. The Blues didn't make the playoffs for the third year in a row. And do you want to go see a City game? Like, you want to see some entertainment? So if you're winning and having success on the pitch, then I think you can gain more of the casual fans that aren't everyday soccer fans that normally watch your sport.
Yeah, and this is where I think it's a shame that Major League Soccer has gone Apple TV. Because if you're a St. Louis sports fan and the Blues missed the playoffs for the third year in a row, the Cardinals are in their transformation, whatever it is, and you're not watching a lot of wins by St. Louis-based teams. The Battlehawks, they don't play a lot of games. They're a winning franchise. They haven't won a championship yet, but they are a winning franchise overall, but not a lot of games. So if you're City SC, wouldn't you like to have your product even on a channel that people could get on their cable box? Like, even if they had to pay for it a little bit, whatever. It'd be great if it was on free TV, because then I would turn it on more.
Yeah.
Like, hey, let's watch City SC, man. They got a 4-game winning streak. Let's watch this. See what's going on. Boom. Put it on your TV. You gain traction. And I think that's the biggest thing is, the team, ultimately here, the team that will win consistently will grow their fan base.
Yeah, absolutely.
I also think there's the other side of it, that people that don't want to watch soccer just aren't going to watch soccer. Like, it's people that don't watch hockey, right? I know people that don't watch baseball. It's too slow, it's boring, I don't watch that. But if you're a sports fan and you're looking for something, I think Jamie hit the nail on the head. It's much easier to consume something if I don't have to go searching for it. If I don't have to pay extra to see it. If I
figure it out. How do I download this?
Right. Is it okay? It's on channel 2. Cool. Easy. I can figure that out. Simple. But when I have to pay for a subscription or pay more for to download something to try to figure out, I don't know, I'm not even a soccer fan, so why would I do all of that?
Well, my biggest point is, how can you hook a new soccer fan if they don't have access to the product?
Yeah.
Like, it's nothing for me to say, hey, go download FanDuel Sports Network on Prime Video, because now it's available. You go to spend $18 a month, and you go do that because, you know what the Blues are. You're a hockey fan. It's easy. You're a football fan, Anthony. It's easy for me to say, hey, go download whatever, NFL.com. You get all the games.
Red Zone.
Which
whatever. Anthony loves.
Loves that.
I love the Red Zone.
You do. You love the host, too.
Yep. He's leaving.
I don't love it when is he?
That's what he said. He's getting a big contract to go somewhere.
Oh, that's too bad.
But my point is it's just like anything else. How do you educate the consumer on your product if they have no access to it? They have access, but it's like layers.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm City SC, I would do like the Blues are doing this year. The Blues I think they got 5 games total, where there'll be 3 on KMOV, Channel 4. First one coming up on Saturday, by the way. Mm-hmm. You just turn on your TV, Channel 4, you watch the Blues. I think City SC should negotiate a deal like that somehow, so that if I'm just screwing around at home, that I put it on. Maybe the atmosphere, I like it, the chanting. I like one player. Like, who knows?
I don't know if that's really in their hands, though. That's more of an MLS thing with Apple TV.
But then MLS got to wake up. If you want to grow the product in these different markets, like, come on. You can't be so arrogant just to think that, we have all the fans. It doesn't matter.
They do have, like, the one free game a week or something.
Yeah, they have games on Fox, too. And, maybe that specific game will hook a fan. And maybe that is what ends up bringing people to Apple TV, and they want to spend a little bit more money. But I do think that, like you said, and we always talk about this, it really boils down to winning. People will pay for whatever it is if they want to see a winning, they want to see a winning product.
Yes, but I don't even think it matters with City. I really don't. Two guys just commented in the snake pit that proved my point. Andy, it took someone who isn't a soccer fan to a City game at Energizer Park. Guaranteed they had a blast. Droid FX, yep, took my friend to a game took a game on this day last year. He's never watched a minute of soccer. Had an absolute blast. City SC is turned into the, hey, this is just, it's a great time. You're going to love, you don't like soccer, no problem. You're going to have fun.
The in-game entertainment. And I think that's the difference between going to a soccer game and watching it on TV.
Correct.
And there's some people that feel the same way about hockey, too. They watch it on TV and they're like, I don't know. But then they go sit,
live. It's
live at a game. And they're like, what is this? This is amazing.
Yes.
I tell people that don't watch hockey to watch playoff hockey because it's so, for me, it's so different.
It's different.
It's just the speed,
I think
the intensity.
Different.
Yeah. If you want to watch a game that you're not familiar with, watch it in the playoffs and see the level of energy that is.
It is interesting. Football is the only game where I don't feel as though it's much different than the playoffs.
That's because there's only 17 of them now. Well, I was going to say 16. But I think because there's a limited number of games, you don't have a month to figure things out. Like in baseball, you can have a bad month. Yeah. In hockey, you can have a bad 3 to 4 week stretch, and you're like, okay, we still got plenty of time left. Basketball, same thing. Football, you start the month off 0-4. Yeah. Good luck. Right. You go 0-4 in those 4 weeks. Good luck making the playoffs.
The Bengals.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
Yeah. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 to ESPN. Kerry Davis, Jamie Rivers, Andrew Marshall, Anthony Stalter. Does success fall on coaching or the player? It's kind of an interesting debate. That's next on 101 ESPN.
When it comes time to sell your home, you need a reliable, experienced, and trusted agent. Take it from me. Get to know St. Louis's real estate expert. That is Gloria Liu with your home sold guaranteed realty. Gloria's name is her promise, and that says it all. Your home sold guaranteed realty. Gloria has mastered the home selling promise by guaranteeing upfront and in writing to sell your home at your agreed upon price and time frame, or she will buy it herself, and she guarantees that in handwriting. Gloria has solutions for every type of home seller. Maybe the seller who wants a fast sale with no hassles. Gloria's multiple cash offer program is a great option to consider. No showings, no costly repairs, and you pick the closing date. You'll always get the highest cash offer to choose from within minutes. And why is that? Because Gloria has a database with thousands of buyers that are ready, willing, and able to purchase your home, and she guides those people to your listing and gets you to the closing table for the most money possible. So please pick up the phone, call Gloria Lou at 314-325-6888. Again, that number, 325-325-6888. You can always visit GloriaHasTheBuyers.com. Conditions do apply. Gloria and the seller must agree upon the sales price and possession date.
I have high standards for myself. I want to be one of the best players now, so whatever can help me get there. Maybe I rush myself too much, you know, but I mean, I think that to be great, I'm going to have to drive myself, make myself maybe a little uncomfortable. So, yeah, I kind of like what my thought process is at, and I don't want to kind of get comfortable telling me, oh, I'm only 22. No, I want to do it. I want to try to be the best now, you know what I'm saying? So that's kind of where my mind's at.
That was Jordan Walker, that audio courtesy of Corey Miller, Channel 5. KSDK. Jordan Walker, his Fangraph zips projections. ZAF4, 0.8. Average, again, these are projections. His average, 244, 19 home runs, OPS, 718, and a WRC plus of 101. Average is 100. Your average Major League Baseball player for WRC plus is 100, so they got him projected at 101. Do you guys feel as though that success ultimately lies on the player or the coaching? And I think Jordan Walker is a great person to use in this example because we have all seen, whether it's on the text line or in the snake pit, somebody eventually say the Cardinals are going to screw him up. So is it on the player or is it coaching to unlock what that player can do?
Wow. That's a tough question because it depends on the player and depends on the coach. If you've got a really good coach that's trying to work with a bad player, then you're not going anywhere. Or if you're with a player that won't accept the coaching, then you're not going anywhere. And I know, well, it's the coach's job to figure it out. Some athletes don't want to be told what to do, and they just buck back all the time, and there's no progress made. Flip side of that is you got a great athlete who is a sponge for wanting to be coached, and the coach is not good at coaching. The player doesn't develop them. So for me, it takes both parties. It takes two to tango, as they would say, Anthony. You need to have a good coach that figures out the best way to connect with the player, and then once the connection's made, coaching that player the right way. And the flip side is you have to have a player that wants to learn, work hard, and absorb the information. And when you get those two elements, that's when you see something special happen. That's when you get a player that comes out of maybe relative obscurity. He's like, I mean, he was good, but man, look at him go now. Well, so-and-so unlocked him. Like, how many guys did Jose Akendo, all of a sudden, this player's like relevant, a guy you've never even heard of, all of a sudden he's in the majors for 7 years.
Right.
Like, what the hell happened there? Well, he worked with Jose Akendo. So Jose Akendo is famous for figuring out, one, how to communicate with players, then how to teach it properly to guys, and then he was good with the encouragement, too. And players gravitated towards what he was saying because of his reputation. So that's where I'm at on it.
Yeah, I agree. I think it takes both. I think it takes if you have a good coach that can unlock something, explain something in a way that you've never been taught, that's their job. Not every coach is capable of doing that, just like not every player is capable of being an all-star or a Hall of Fame caliber player. But when you get that kind of that marriage of a great coach that unlocks something in you and shows you how to do something the right way or shows you how to do something in a way that you never thought of, and you're extremely talented, then the sky's the limit, right? At the end of the day, I think it's more, in my opinion, it's more on the player because even as a coach, I can tell you what to do. But when it comes time to do it, you're the one that has to do it. Like, I can give you all the film. I can give you all the analytics. I can prepare you in the best way possible. I can be the greatest coach in the world. But at the end of the day, it's you that needs to hit this pitch. It's you that needs to track this fly ball. It's you that has to block this defensive end. It's you that has to throw this ball versus this coverage. Like, it's on you. I can prepare you for the moment. But when the moment arises, how do you handle it? Are you able to handle that? And if not, then that's on the player. So for me, it's both, but it's more, if we're giving it a split, I would probably say 60-40, 65-35 player to coach.
Yeah, that's where I'm at, and I would even go like 70-30.
Yeah.
Because if you don't have the skill set first, you're not giving that coach anything to work with, to unlock. If even, and this is at all levels, right? Whether you got, it's a youth level player, and that youth level player starts to he starts to play a sport he's never played before, and he's at a 1. He can improve, but he may only improve to a 5.
Right.
You got 8s on your team. So did that player improve? Yes. Is he one of the best players in your team? No. And that's because of his skill set. But if you have the effort and the skill set and that coach can unlock something, maybe a player that's a 5 can go to an 8. You know what I mean? But you have to have that skill set. You have to have that work ethic. I mean, you guys have run into plenty of players among your career, throughout your career, that have been incredible athletes, God-given. Wow, just give me that. And they don't work hard.
Yeah.
They don't work hard. They don't study. They're not professionals. There's somebody that does not want the extra coaching, doesn't care. I'll just go on my abilities. We've seen this before. So I think it's the player 70%. Now, when that player, though, is Patrick Mahomes and he gets paired with Andy Reid, now you got a Hall of Famer. You know what I mean?
So then, let me flip this a little bit. What if you have a player that has a tremendous amount of skill, great work ethic, passionate, intense, beyond belief, but he gets under a coach that doesn't utilize the player in the right way and doesn't give that player appropriate playing time? And let's say the coach wants to change that player's style. So now what? You're still on the player?
Not that his skill has not been maximized. No, that's where that 30% comes in.
But I'm just saying, like, that happens a lot. There's young kids that are drafted out of college for whatever sport, even hockey, and you're drafted for a specific reason because you excelled at something within the game.
Sure.
And then you get to said team, and the coach doesn't let you play that way, or just doesn't play you.
Yeah.
So then,
or doesn't coach you,
doesn't give you the opportunity,
right. Sam Darnold,
whatever it is, or in fact punishes you for doing what you have always done to the best of your ability. Now what? That's on the coach, man.
That is absolutely.
That's more than 30%.
It's 30%. It's more than 30% in how that player's career.
Well, yeah, but that's a big deal, though.
Yeah.
Because I'll reference just Jordan Walker. Come in, wow, he jumped from AA to the majors, and he was just fine. And then they started tinkering, changing things. And what happened to him? Started to dip all the way back to the minors. And now he's still in his own headspace trying to figure out how to get back to what he once was because they tried to change him. They thought they were improving him, but they weren't. They were trying to make him what they wanted, not what he was best at.
And I agree with that.
So that's on the coaching?
It is. Because what's the player going to do? Would you like to play? Yeah, well, you have to play this way.
Yeah.
If you don't, you're not playing.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you from my own experience, that happened to me.
Yeah.
Literally. You want to carry the puck up the ice? Not here. You're going to dump it in, you're going to run people over. Or you won't play.
Can you screw up a great player?
Yeah.
So so somebody could have screwed up Brett Hull.
Absolutely.
If you didn't give him the opportunity.
Absolutely. Why do you think he didn't work out in Calgary? Why do you think he didn't work out in Calgary? You think he just came to St. Louis and just figured out he was a hockey player? No. Terry Crisp didn't play Brett Hull in the right way. Didn't even care. Thought he was out of shape. Thought he was this. Thought he was that. Barely played him up and down from the minors. Then he comes to St. Louis, and all of a sudden, holy crap, this guy's good.
Yeah.
So, I'm sorry. I'm putting the onus a little more on the coach.
I mean, look, you bring up great points. I just think of like the great players. Nobody really screwed them up.
Well, that's because they were in a situation where they got the opportunity. Like, if you get the opportunity to play, you're going to figure it out. And I think I agree with him in terms of, I think we're talking about once you get
opportunity,
on the field,
not coaching.
Well, once you get on the field,
well,
it's 70% on you.
The coach is the one who gives you the opportunity.
But if we're talking about coaching, I'm referring to,
so then what about the coach who tries to change the player?
Working with the player. Exactly. Working with the player.
But what if he's changing him in the wrong direction?
Because every coach is not a great coach.
No,
I agree with that.
And a coach can literally side rail your career.
Yeah.
Because he's changed you, and then you're not the same player. And then the next team you go to, they only know the crappy version of you, so you're, third or fourth on their list in said position.
I'm just thinking of, and maybe I'm not explaining myself well, but I'm just thinking of Jordan Walker. I don't think it's fair to just say Cardinals have screwed him up. I don't think it works that way if he's truly a great player.
But time will tell. Time will tell.
But so he doesn't work out, right?
Yeah.
Doesn't work out well. We're just going to blame the Cardinals for that?
No, but they certainly have
more than 30%. Or maybe he just truly wasn't a great player.
They have more than 30% blame share on that then. The Cardinals.
On that situation. Because
that one.
With him, you were basically telling him, you don't like hits? You don't like me hitting the ball because it's on the ground.
I don't like you hitting on the ground, no.
But you don't like me getting a hit.
Always.
You don't like me getting a hit.
You drafted me when I hit on the ground.
You're not gonna live that way.
But you don't. But I am.
You're not gonna work on that.
But I am. I'm having success, and until I run
into 2 weeks,
until I run into that spot where I'm no longer having success, now we can converse about what needs to change or what needs to be better. But don't change what you're doing. Continue to do that, but let's add to it. And I think what Jamie is saying, what the Cardinals how we view it is, that's not good enough. We're going to overhaul the entire thing. No, that's what got you here. Don't change that because that's who you are. Do I want you hitting ground ball? No, but if it's going 112 miles per hour, ain't nobody standing in front of it. You getting on base? Okay, cool. We'll work on the other part. And like I said, I said this before I heard Albert Pujols say it. I heard Alex Rodriguez. Both of those guys have a lot of home runs. They just drive the ball. They didn't worry about launch angle. So if you're telling me two of the greatest home run hitters of our time are telling you we don't worry about launch angle, but somebody that does analytics is saying you got to get great launch angle. Your 40% is not good enough. What the hell? How many home runs have you hit? So if I'm going to I would rather listen to the people that have done it on a high level, at an elite level, that are great at their job and and that's who I'm learning from and that's what I'm listening to, than to have somebody tell me and try to alter everything that got me here.
It's what
got me here. You can't change everything that got me here, because why the hell did you draft me? You drafted me to change me? That's a dumbass idea. You should have drafted somebody else. So if you drafted me because you liked my game, let me play my game, but add to it. Don't change it, because the moment you change it, I'm no longer the person that you drafted.
I would agree 100%.
I think the launch angle topic gets misconstrued. I don't think anybody went to Jordan Walker and said, your launch angle's a problem, let's change it. I think somebody went to him and said, look, this isn't going to play at the big league level, so let's make the adjustments now. I don't think he was going to have a great career putting the ball on the ground consistently. You're not unlocking anything. And I don't think that, and I think the Cardinals knew that.
Maybe you are locking other things, though.
You are correct. You are locking something instead of unlocking it.
We're isolating the Jordan Walker situation because we've used it as an example.
Yeah.
I could give you 10,000 other players that have been screwed up by coaches.
Okay.
So many. Over and over.
I'm not disagreeing.
Where the coach is an idiot, and the coach wants a player to play a certain way, even though that player is not that kind of player.
Mm-hmm.
And so then tries to change a player when the player can't change. Then he starts to play bad. Now the player's punished by not playing. So there, your opportunity is the last thing to go because he can't play for me. Can't play for me. Really? And then player goes on to a different team, different coach. Players now the coach knows what he's got. Player thrives. What happened there? How'd that happen?
Mm-hmm.
Or the player gets screwed up for the rest of his career and he's just a mid player.
Okay, well, let's say somebody comes to your camp and he's been scoring goals constantly because all he does is fire shots from the perimeter, and he wins that way. You're not making any adjustments to his game?
I'm going to add to his game.
Okay.
You shoot all the time. You want shoot from the perimeter? Fine.
Sure.
But here are some options.
Okay. Yes.
Here are some options. The options are we can also use our teammates. We can do but I'm not going to take if a guy's a shooter.
Right.
It'd be like telling Al McInnes, no, you're no longer just going to take slap shots. Okay, we're wrist shots better or the one timer. And here's a great story. Al McInnes, there was a coach. His name's Mike Keenan. Mm-hmm. Okay, wanted Al McInnes to shoot a one timer on the power play. Al McInnes told him, with the way my curve is, I can't accurately shoot a one timer. Can he shoot one? Yeah. He put it through the freaking glass, but he can't accurately shoot it. So our power play for 2 weeks straight sucked because he wanted to load up a one-timer for Al McInnes, and it wasn't working. Mm-hmm. Now, Al, thankfully, he was Al McInnes. He was able to say, I'm not doing that anymore. Mm-hmm. But if it was a young player, he can't say crap. And all of a sudden, Keem's like, this kid can't play on the power play. Mm-hmm. No more. Don't play him on the power play anymore. I know we drafted him. He had over 100 points in junior as a defenseman. Don't play him on the power play anymore.
Sure.
And we're not talking about every single scenario being the same.
Right.
I'm just telling you, my initial argument, I'll call it, the coach holds more than 30% for the success rate of the player.
Okay. Well, again, though, you would add to his game, correct?
Yes.
Okay, you get him to expand.
Not change, add.
Okay. So what's the difference with Jordan Walker then?
Well, there's a lot because of hitting.
They're trying to add to his game. Kid, you're hitting the ball on the ground. We want to make sure that you drive the ball. Right?
Was there any point where his swing was changed or the approach was changed? Because how I perceived it, how it was explained, or how I understood it is, this isn't good enough. Like, you getting hits isn't good enough. Well, you're hitting the ball hard as hell.
I think that's a basic way to look at it, though.
Eventually, you're going to, and so for me, what I feel like it did to Jordan Walker is now you got so many other things on your mind. I've said this 100 times. Does not matter how talented you are if mentally you have trouble. If you're struggling with confidence, you just wrap it up. It's over. Mm-hmm. Because the moment you lose your confidence, it takes a long time to get it back if you're not having success or you're not getting the opportunities. And so for me, he was no longer getting the opportunity. So what does that do? Now your confidence is really in the dumps. Because I'm a young player. I have not had success yet. I have not had that level of success that I can point to and say, you know what, I'm damn good at this game. I was damn good in high school. I was damn good in the minors. I don't know if I'm damn good in the major leagues yet because I haven't had that sustained success. And to me, what they did was took that away from him and said, you're not good enough. You need to be better. And now you're like, well, okay, what do I do now? Mm-hmm. To the point where he even said, yeah, I didn't change anything. When his first time going down, I didn't change anything. I didn't do nothing different. That was his rookie year. I didn't do nothing different. I'm just playing baseball. Basically, I'm going to ignore what the hell they're talking about because it ain't me. What I need to do is help me learn how to do these other things, but don't change me. Don't change who I am. Don't change the things that cause you to draft me and bring me here. Add to it. Like what Jamie said, help me learn how to do these other things, but let me still smoke a damn ball between the third baseman and the shortstop because it's going 115 miles an hour and they ain't going to stop it. And eventually, I'm going to smoke one in the left center. Because I'm going to hit the ball at the right angle that you want. But don't change that part of me because you're changing my swing and you're changing my approach and my philosophy.
That's Kerry Davis, Jamie Rivers, Andrew Marsh, Anthony Stalter. We got Chris Kerber next. Talk a little U.S. hockey with him here on 101 ESPN. Jamie, I love working with our guys, Stewie. It doesn't matter if you're trying to purchase your dream home or you're trying to consolidate debt. Stewie's got different programs available that are tailor-made to what your issue is or your challenge is. And speaking of challenge, there's no challenge that Stewie doesn't accept. So if you find yourself in a spot where other lenders are like, nah, we don't have that, or nah, we can't really do anything for you, challenge Stewie, because I almost guarantee he can figure something out.
Yeah, and we all know about the bagel loan. Now, we've been talking about it for years. So Stewie's got a new program, Anthony. He divulged that to us, called the Red Bagel Program. So when you give Stewie a call, say, Stewie, what's this Red Bagel Program? It's a debt consolidation strategy to help lower some of your payments and, in fact, erase years off of your debt. Mm-hmm. And Stewie's there to help you with that. Another thing that Stewie does great is doing all that stuff and helping you save money. So when you give him a call at 314-324-4440,
314-324-4440.
Ask him about the Red Bagel. Ask him about the bagel loan. Ask him about debt consolidation. All of that stuff. He's going to be ready for you immediately. And if you can't remember that number, Anthony, what can you do?
You can always Google the bagel loan.
NMLS number 226715.
Hey, Chris Kerber with you here. And, before this winter storm weather that we've had over the last, 6 weeks or so with a lot of snow that we've had, I had Classic Air Care come out to the house. I hadn't had the unit serviced in about a year. They came out, they vacuumed it out, they tested it. One of the things they did was they took the temperature of the air right where it leaves the unit, and they measured it with the temperature of the air coming out of one of the vents. They made sure that the variance is right, the temperature variance is right. That means that the air is heated properly leaving the unit. It means that the airflow is proper. It means it's not losing somewhere along the way. And when these winter storms have hit, like we just had over the last couple of days, and the temperatures are in the single digits or the teens, my house is just as comfortable set at 71 as it is when I put the air conditioner on at 71 in the middle of July. They've made my home comfortable. They'll make your home comfortable. That's why you have it maintained. That's why you get one of their maintenance plans so you don't have to worry about it. But if you do and something does go wrong, you can count on them. You can go online and book an appointment at classicaircare.com. They've got a 24/7 hotline, which is extremely important in the middle of these winter temperatures, and they will take care of you the way they have taken care of me. Check out all the ratings that they've had. A 4.8 Google rating, and the links are right at the top of their website at classicaircare.com. And again, don't forget to call them as well. If you need the service, call them. They'll take care of you. It's Classic Air Care, making people comfortable since 1926.
It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN with Andrew Marsh, Kerry Davis, and Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. Let's head to the Collier and Thompson phone line. We have Chris Kerber, voice of the Blues, on the line right now. What's up, Kerbs?
Fellas, how are you today?
Looking forward to this U.S.-Canada championship game tonight. What's the one thing you're kind of excited about?
I'm just excited to see the passion and the emotion in great hockey. It's the one thing, a lot was made of the three fights and all that stuff, but, actually when John Cooper referenced, and then we had the hockey game break out, and man, it was really just terrific hockey. And the one thing, like one of the great aspects I take about this is take Dylan Larkin, who's been a very good player for the Detroit Red Wings, but the Detroit Red Wings have not been very good, right? And Dylan Larkin's a player that's kind of bridging that the old success of a number of years ago for Detroit to now as they're trying to get back into it. And even Dylan Larkin said, man, I forgot what it was like to play with this kind of intensity and this kind of level. And fellas, to me, that just shows you like the winning culture and just how like how certain the edginess and the greatness of players can kind of get dulled over time when they're in a culture that isn't, constantly, thriving and winning. I mean, Cam Fowler might be a great example of it. I haven't had a chance to talk to him about this yet, but that's one of the fascinating aspects that have come out of this to me is just the quality and the intensity of hockey. And it hasn't been an exhibition of hockey. It's truly been hockey at its best.
Curbs, you think the intensity of that game, let alone the expectations for this game, are the same without those three fights? Because I think that literally shocked the world. I'm not saying the hockey world. Like, you couldn't put on anything the next day without seeing the beginning of that game. And I don't know if the intensity would have been the same. It would have been great, but I don't know if it would have been the same without those fireworks.
I don't think it would have either, Jamie. And I think the intensity would have been there. I think a lot of the, I think a lot of would have been made out of it would have been some great play because I mean watching Connor McDavid get hit and dumped on his butt. I mean, you almost never see that in the regular season, right? So I think there'd be something to talk about. At the same level, absolutely not. I mean, look, when Bill Guerin is a guest on Fox News because of that game. When Rich Eisen, starts one of his shows off with my phone was blowing up, and he thought, you're thinking it's the NBA and it's actually the hockey game. It's made tomorrow. I'm so fascinated to see what the ratings are going to be tonight. It's brought it to the forefront, and you're right. I don't think that it's the same as it would have been without those three fights. And I also loved Cooper's comments when he was asked about it. He goes, "Nobody left the building, did they?" So I think that's fantastic. And so now, and look, do we see the same thing tonight? I don't know. Sometimes when you see it in the first game, you don't see it in the next. But I'll tell you what, guys, for an in-season tournament that is put there to kind of get some of the fire and the passion back from a national standpoint a year before the NHL participates in the Olympics. Yes, Russia isn't involved. That is a factor that I still think we, should be discussed at some point in time. But holy smokes, has this been a home run for the game itself. Now, look, I don't believe that it's going to help local ratings. Okay, the sport has not seen bumps in local ratings and things like that because of international play. But, man, in the moment, when you have people talking more about this than they are the NBA, All-Star game and things like that, you've done something really well, and I think the NHL really should be commended for it.
Curbs, if Team USA wins tonight, does it mean more because it's going against Team Canada?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I mean, absolutely no doubt about it. I mean, and look, I'll tell you that a Blues win over Chicago or Detroit will always mean more than a win over another team because it's your rival. But yes, it's sort of no different, than I think they did the rivalry great with Sweden and Finland as well. But yeah, it means a lot. Now, to me, the question is okay, Team USA gets the win. All right, that's nice. You won the Four Nations tournament. You won it. It was some great theater, some great drama, some great passion. Will it compare to anything next year when it comes to the Olympics? No, not even close. Like, you could win this Four Nations tournament and have some great vibes and a lot of fun and a lot of stuff to discuss, right? You lose to Canada the Olympics next year, and you're kind of back to it's like the order of the world is where it should be again, right? So to me, obviously, the Olympic stage becomes a bigger one. But for what it is, I think I think without a shred of doubt, if Canada hadn't made the finals or the USA hadn't made the finals of this tournament, I don't think there's anywhere near the fanfare if it was Sweden or Finland versus one of the other teams.
Chris Kerber joining us right now on the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. If it's sooner, tonight's the last Four Nations game, so we'll get that second half rolling for the Blues here soon. Curbs, what's the second half storyline that, or what's the second half question that you would love to have answered by the Blues?
Well, listen, the reality, Anthony, is we're well into the second half, right? So this is crunch time. We're like, I think like this is, as we come out of this break, you're in the stretch run, and honestly, this is probably a make it or break it weekend for the St. Louis Blues. These first three games, right out of the hop, Winnipeg, back to back with Colorado, and then Seattle comes into town on Tuesday, and you got to go. You got to go on a tear. You got to come out with some consistency. You got to come out with some type of jam and find success. And to me, I think the biggest thing for me in these final 27, 28 games is, can they stay in the thick of things, number one, or do they fall out of it? You've got 7 games, I believe it is, before the trade deadline. Okay. So there is that storyline that's going to be a big deal. And I'm not sure, and maybe success this weekend could really dictate what Doug Armstrong does one way or another if he hasn't already made up his mind. So to me, it's how do you come out of the gate, number one, the trade deadline, number 2, and then post-trade deadline, what are the consistencies that the Blues can put under Jim Montgomery, and what other opportunities maybe happen if you see a young guy or two come up. And those, to me, are the storylines mixed into the whole mix of can they stay in the thick of it.
Curbs, you haven't called a game in close to 2 weeks. What the heck you been doing?
Well, we had some stuff go on family-wise. I took one of my daughters to a college visit at the beginning, and then just kind of relaxing and trying to enjoy the time as best we could.
Hey,
we'll be ready.
Curbs, I just want to take a minute here on behalf of our entire show to offer our condolences. The passing of your father. I know that times are tough, but you're definitely in our thoughts and prayers, buddy.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah, James, I appreciate that, and I know you reached out while you were on vacation. Thank you, guys. And listen, if I could, just a real quick shout-out. I said this on the Riz show on Wednesday, but, to the nurses and the doctors out there in the hospitals and stuff, and, what they do. My dad was over at St. Luke's, and I just, there's normal routines, there's jobs that we do, and there's stuff, but I'll tell you what, it takes special people to care for people the way nurses and doctors do, and especially when you deal with end-of-life scenarios, and the compassion was just amazing. So just not just at St. Luke's, but all the other hospitals around, just a big thank you to all of them for the effort and the care that you do, because those people really do make a difference in people's lives, and they made a big difference in ours last Thursday and Friday. So just thank you guys very much, and a big shout out to the hospital workers as well.
Curtis, before I let you go, not to put you on the spot too much, but what's a great story you have of your father and you? Maybe it's a sporting event that you attended, a game you watch on TV, something that you'll just never forget that just stands out. Because I'm always not fascinated. I'm always very interested. I love hearing stories about, growing up, moments with parents, brothers, sisters, all that stuff.
Well, boy, there's a bunch of them that run through your head, Jamie. I was, when I first got the job with the Blues, him meeting Jim Woodcock was kind of a great moment. The night that Chaser and I got introduced on KTRS, and then my dad sat in the booth with us for that first home game, and that's a moment I'll never forget. And guys, he loved listening to 101, and he loved listening to the hockey games. He had the 101 app on his phone. He'd keep the phone in his Tommy Mattern plaid, right, shirt that he wore. Right, and he'd get upset if there was a hockey show and it wasn't listed on the daily routine. He says, "What are you going to do about this?" I go, "Well, I'll call it." I tell Tommy, I'm like, "Jesus, will you mind putting this on there to cut me a break here?" And but he did, and so he listened to 101 through the app. He listened to every game. all the time, and he had this Blues jacket that he wore all the time. And my sisters decided he should be buried in that, so he'll be buried in a Blues jacket on Tuesday. And but Jamie, we lost our mom 32 years ago. She was only 48, and she died of cancer. And I was the second oldest of 9, and I was 22. So my youngest sister Becky was 12. And Dad pretty much raised a family from there and kept everybody tight. And in the end, there's 9 of us. You've got all the spouses, and then 20 grandkids. And the power of love that I saw from the grandkids with him in the hospital those last 2 days was simply amazing. But there was one time, and you can imagine 9 kids in 12 years. Apparently, a kid was picking on one of our little sisters there at Chesterfield Elementary off of Wild Horse Creek when we were growing up out there. And so the 3 boys took care of it. We got into trouble, right? The 3 older brothers took care of it. We got into trouble. I had to meet with the principal the next morning. Dad had to come pick us up from school. He did. And the principal asked me being the oldest, he goes, "Did your dad talk to you?" I said, "Yes, sir." He says, "Well, what did he do?" I said, "He took us to Dairy Queen."
As he should.
As he should. And the principal said, "What?" So shocked, the principal calls my dad on the phone, and my dad says, "Yeah, I talked to them about what is right and wrong, and I have no problem with them standing up for their sisters, so I rewarded them for that. Now quit wasting my time and get them back to their room." And so the principal says, "Yes, sir," and sent us back to class.
That's awesome.
That's fantastic.
All of it, I appreciate you asking that question. Like, Dad was just all about family, and that's what this past week has been about, and it's been fantastic.
Kerbs, thanks for sharing that story. We appreciate you. Have a great rest of your week, and looking forward to hearing you again right here on the Blues Radio Network, 101 ESPN.
You got it. We'll be back at it on Saturday, fellas. Have a great rest of the week. Thank you, and we'll talk to you guys next week.
All right, thanks, Kerbs. That's Chris Kerber, voice of the Blues, here on 101 at ESPN. Kerry Davis, Jamie Rivers, Andrew Marsh, Anthony Stalter. We'll do a very quick bet the board, and then maybe we'll dive back into this Jordan Walker conversation. That's next on 101 ESPN.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. Tonight we'll have the United States taking on Canada in the Four Nations Face-Off Championship game. You can listen to that one right here on 101 ESPN with the pregame starting at 6. Puck drop around 7. We'll bet the board next right here in the Fast Lane. I'm Andrew Marsh, and the Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Let's bet the board here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Kerry Davis, Andrew Marsh, Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. Marsh, what's the latest standings?
Nothing's really changed, Anthony, except for Carey and Jamie picked up another point. So Jamie leads with 10 points. Carey a little bit behind Jamie with 7. Anthony, you have 5, and I have 4.
I blame us for this.
Why? What's wrong?
We gave them 7 picks.
4 picks. 5 at least.
Guys, stop.
It's ridiculous.
Control yourselves.
We tried too. That's the bad part. Spite is that should be a life lesson about being spiteful. Anyone out there that's listening that's thinking about being spiteful, it doesn't do any good.
It doesn't work.
It does not work, man.
It may feel good initially, but it doesn't work.
Backfires.
It definitely backfires.
We were spiteful plus 10. Win outright. What the hell is going on?
Finland over Sweden.
Yep.
All right, Jamie.
I'm trying to find it here. It takes me a couple of seconds to find the right one here. I'm looking for player props. Anthony, come and help me here, please.
What do you need?
I just need a player prop.
Any player?
No.
Shots on goal, points.
Just 1 point. Anytime point.
Point?
Yeah.
Anytime point. You got a player in mind, or you want some options?
I would like Connor McDavid.
He's minus 200.
That's not going to work. Okay, what about Matthew Tkachuk?
Matthew Tkachuk is plus 100, one plus point.
Let's go, baby.
There you go. Matthew Tkachuk, point tonight.
I hate it. Is it on me? Not your pick. I was talking about the pick I was looking at. Give me the Celtics minus 7. Is it 7? Minus 7 versus the Philadelphia 76ers.
And I will take Team USA minus 118 against Team Canada. Last time I won was Team USA against Canada last week. So let's get back on track here.
All right.
I'm going to take Connor Hellebuck under 27.5 saves. Last time I did this, it had nothing really to do with the amount of goals that I think he'll let in. I just think that Team USA defense does not allow Canada to have 28 shots on net. So, nice. It's a lot of shots in this type of tournament with an all-star team playing.
Certainly.
Yes.
Earlier this hour, we had, excuse me, I get choked up thinking about it.
That was a serious subject.
Yeah.
Earlier this hour, we had a spirited debate on coaching and a young player. Well, after hearing Jordan Walker talk about his coaches, do we have more confidence in Jordan Walker this upcoming season? That's next on 101 ESPN. With over 700 new and used vehicles all in one location out in Herculaneum, you're going to find the right car for you, the right price, and the right deal at Auto Centers Nissan Herculaneum. They got their Love It First Drive sales event, so heavily discounted prices on every vehicle in stock. New Nissans discounted up to $10,000 off with sales prices starting under $23,000 on select models. All with 0 down and no payments for 3 months on select used vehicles, or no payments for 6 months. That's right, no payments for 6 months on select new Nissans right now at Auto Centers Nissan Herculaneum. Plus, take advantage of low finance rates with terms of up to 84 months. 2025 Nissan models come with free lifetime warranty and 3 free oil changes. Plus, you get that peace of mind with their 30-day return promise. Within 30 days, for whatever reason, if you want to bring the vehicle back, they'll refund you the money, but they're confident that you're going to love the vehicle at Auto Centers Nissan Herculaneum, that they give you that 30-day return promise. Check them out online, AutoCentersNissan.com. Tell them Stalter sent you. It's Auto Centers Nissan. It's Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. So earlier this hour, we had a spirited debate on coaching and how that impacts a young player. Well, here's Jordan Walker in a one-on-one with this audio is courtesy of KMOV. Here's Jordan Walker on what he's been working on with Brant Brown in terms of offense, Brown being the new hitting coach. And then we're going to have a discussion about whether or not we've got more confidence now. Here's Jordan Walker.
Brown, I mean, his excitement is up there as one of the top in the clubhouse. He knows about the game. He knows really how to attack the pitchers, and he knows about also body control. How are we moving best? Honestly, he has a plan. I feel like he has a plan for each and every single one of us on how to approach the game. And me specifically, there's really two key points he wants me to focus on, and that's to stay in my legs and, don't even really worry about what my hands are doing. And my hands are going to follow my body. And that's what he told me at the beginning of when we started working. And so now we went through all the intricate things on body control, where am I putting my force through the ball, not pulling off, staying kind of in there. So he knows how the body moves. And now it's all just a matter of applying what he's told me into the games. And so that's what we're doing right now in live BP and everything like that. So it's very excited to get, going with him.
You guys more confident after hearing what Jordan Walker had to say about the new hitting coach?
That sounded to me like that's the first time he's been taught that. Like, those are new, like honestly, right? Everything we know in sports starts from the ground up. So that sounded to me like learning different things. Those are the things that good coaches unlock. He sounded excited. He sounded like, yeah, he's teaching me this, and that's not something. He didn't say he's reiterating things that I already know. He's saying he's teaching me things. So for me, that sounds like a player that is excited about the process and where he is in the process and looking forward to putting it all together. And so now you have a coach that has unlocked something in him, hopefully shown him something that will help him, and now it's on him to do that when he gets up to the plate every time.
Yeah, I would agree. It sounded to me like a player that was excited to get started. Not a player that was sitting there going, well, we're still working on some things, and or even talking about the past. Well, last year things. Let's players like, hey man, this is like I'm excited to get going here.
Mm-hmm.
It's a more mature player. First of all, he's a year further down in his career, so he's learning some things too. He's learning how to become a true professional and learning how to work on his craft. I'm sure he's unlocked a few things on his own, but now to have somebody who seems to have tapped into what the player believes in. I mean, the proof will be on the field.
Yeah. What
he says is one thing. What he does is another. But he sounds more confident.
Yeah, I too carry what you said about the feet. I mean, that's all sports, right? Like they're teaching you, Jamie, you know about this. Boxers, it's from the feet up. I mean,
it's balance.
Yeah, and it's rotation and all that. With baseball, it starts ground up. So somebody's unlocking maybe his lower half. It'll unlock all the power potential that he has in his upper half. All right, here's Jordan Walker, same audio courtesy of KMOV, on what he's working with John Jay from a defensive standpoint.
Having John Jay out there, he's introduced new drills. We've done things I've actually never seen before with it. You have these rubber yellow balls that are kind of unpredictable to really feel, so like to field. So what you have to do is be good at getting it in it. And one thing that I think that Brownie said that I kind of keep going in my head all throughout spring training is just like that I hear a lot is just stay in your legs, stay in your legs. That's something John Jay is really good at teaching as well, because you won't be able to field like that tough hop if you're not staying in your legs. So a lot of what I'm learning, I'm seeing a recurring theme that definitely has been one of my major focuses this offseason. But yeah, I mean, he's got different drills. He's got a really nice approach. Yeah, so I'm super excited to work with him too.
From the ground up, his legs, working and doing different drills and learning different things. And this is also, in my opinion, why you didn't need to send him down last year. You needed to keep him with the Major League. Now, I know
but they weren't doing this in the majors with him.
Well, these are different coaches, but you're probably going to get better coaching at the Major League level. And this is no knock to the lower.
Now.
Well, Jamie, you might be right. But probably get better coaching at this level than you would have at the minor league level. So, yeah.
CD, AB asked you, and I think this is an interesting question. So we had you said 60-40 more on the player when we had the player coaching. Are you still 60-40 on the player or
I
no?
think the coach unlocks things, But it's more on the player once those things are unlocked. Once you get on the field, it's on the player to actually perform. The coach ain't going to pick up a bat. John Jay ain't going to go out there and field no damn ground ball when it's hit out there. Mm-hmm. He teaches him how to do it. Now, when the opportunity presents itself, you got to show up. So it's more on the player in that regard. It's not 50-50 because the coach is not playing, but he's teaching you what to do when those moments come.
Yeah.
Now it's on you to do it.
I'm not going 50-50, 60. I'm done with that argument.
90-10 coaching.
No, I'm just done with that argument. But I will say, to hear certain things come from a player to where he's like, I've never done that before. How have you never done that before? It's what, his third or fourth year in the majors? And all his, how is this now the, and I know exactly those yellow balls that he's talking about. They basically have nubs on them. And goalies use them where you throw them against the wall and they bounce off crazy. So it's like a deflection.
You got to react.
You got to react to it. Mm-hmm. But that's a standard teaching tool for goaltenders in hockey. I've seen it used for infielders for baseball. I haven't seen it for outfielders, but obviously there's a purpose to it. It's just astonishing to me that there are things that are being taught to Jordan Walker that he's never seen before. And it's his fourth year in the majors.
I think for me, though, the past is the past. I think this not only gives me excitement and confidence in Jordan Walker, but the rest of the team, too. You mentioned Brant Brown working with each individual player on certain things. It's just this is something that we really haven't heard about or from these players in the past. So I think that in itself is getting me a little bit more excited for the season because it could look different. This is the time where we need things to look different. And so far, I'm hearing things that are different from players. So that gives me a little bit more excitement for the season, a little bit more confidence in this team and what they can do in 2025.
I want to read a comment from the Snake Pit. Ryan Crawford says, you're not supposed to be learning at the major league level. Come on, man. Who the hell told you that? You should always be learning. You should always be learning to be better at your craft. You don't stop learning because you're a professional baseball player or an NFL running back or an NHL defenseman. You don't stop once you get to that level. You have coaches that are there for a reason. And again, some coaches are really freaking good at their job and some are terrible. But you are always learning. You are always gaining an advantage, gaining an edge. Hey, in this situation, think about doing this next time. If that moment arises again, hey, what do you think about looking at it in this direction or looking at it like this? This is how you should approach this. That's what coaches, that's what their eyes are for. They're there watching you to tell you, hey, this is what you're doing or what you need to be doing. It doesn't stop because you're a professional. It enhances. Because it's hard enough to get to the majors. It's hard enough to get to the NHL or the NFL. It's harder to stay because you got hundreds of people trying to take your job every day. So if your ass stop learning, you're going to be in a world of trouble. So you never stop learning. You never stop at the major league level. You never stop learning your craft.
Well, you never stop working.
Correct. You
just never stop working. You look at players like Ryan O'Reilly. You look at Sidney Crosby and Nathan McKinnon. Pre-tournament for Four Nations, they're first two guys on the ice, last two guys off the ice, still doing drills, working on things, and those are two of the best players in the game. And Sidney Crosby is no spring chicken anymore, and he's still out there doing that. Those are guys that understand that not only does the game continue to evolve, the player has to continue to evolve too.
ABL.
Always be learning.
That's right. It's Fastlane on 101 ESPN.
NBC, always be closing. What the hell is wrong with you?
What the hell is wrong with me? You just said always be learning.
Anthony, I was okay with it.
Thanks, Jamie.
You're welcome.
I built that acronym for you.
It's always be closing.
It is. That's ABC, though.
That's what I said.
Yeah, he said ABL.
But you said always be learning. ABL.
Oh. Okay, we'll go with that.
Kerry, I don't know what your problem is.
You're disgusted. I used what you said.
I agree.
You sure
the
did.
acronym threw me off.
I liked it, Anthony. I thought it was creative.
Thank you, Jamie.
I thought it was direct, and I thought it showed a lot of initiative.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Kiss up.
Like he needs to. You don't care. Gauntlet next on 101 ESPN. Missouri sports fans got great news. Underdog is available to play in our state. In this basketball season, when your favorite stars score buckets or they're grabbing rebounds or they're dishing out assists, you can cash in on that. Underdog is one of the leading sports apps you can play now in Missouri. To play, just choose whether or not a player that you like in an NBA basketball game, a college basketball game, hockey. They got the hockey game tonight, in fact, at Underdog Fantasy. Just pick whether or not they're going to go higher or lower on their stats, whether it's points, assists, rebounds, goals, however you want to do it. You can build your own picks. I like to do some college basketball, but you can combine. You can do college basketball, NHL, and NBA. You can play with as little as $1, and if you get everything right, you can win up to 1,000 times your money. So you can turn $1 into 1,000 just with your hoops or hockey knowledge. Download the Underdog app. Sign up using my promo code Anthony to unlock a special offer of up to $1,000 in bonus cash when you make your first deposit. Again, you can join in on the fun. Just use my promo code Anthony, and then you can claim your special offer today and get up to $1,000 in bonus cash instantly upon your first deposit. Must be 18 plus, 19 plus in Alabama and Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Arizona and Massachusetts, and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Void in Colorado. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. In Arizona, call 1-800-NEXT-STEP or text NEXT-STEP to 53342. In New York, call the 24/7 HOPE line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Warriors. 4 categories, 1 challenger. Can you survive the Gauntlet?
Brought to you by Blue Note Roofing. Roofing, siding, and gutters. Visit BlueNoteRoofingSTL.com for a free inspection.
404, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. It's the fast lane, time for the Gauntlet, and we've got Adam on the line. What's up, Adam?
Hey, how's it going, guys?
Everything's good, man. Appreciate you listening. Thanks for playing. Would you like to take on Marsh, CD, Jamie, or me today?
CD.
All right. Kerry Davis.
Good luck, Adam.
All right, thank you.
All right, Kerry's going to head to the Cone of Silence right now. Adam doesn't have to say it back. Adam's locked in. He's ready to go.
Kerry doesn't have to say it to Adam, though, either.
No, he doesn't. He's right. But he did.
He did.
He did. It's already in the atmosphere.
It's all right, Adam. We got you.
All right, Adam. Go ahead and tell Marsh to spin that wheel.
Spin that wheel, Marsh.
What are you hoping for, Adam?
I'll take hockey. Anything, honestly.
Okay. Hockey
Well,
or anything,
you know what?
honestly.
Actually, it is anything.
Oh, random again.
Random. How do you feel about that, Adam?
I'll take it. That's fine.
All right. He doesn't care. I like this guy.
So T-Bone came in yesterday and said that good luck to whoever gets random.
Oh.
Now, you didn't wind up getting random yesterday, Jamie. Thank you,
No,
Marsh.
thank goodness.
But Adam and CD will get it today. All right, Adam.
But Adam doesn't care.
No, he seems good.
I like his attitude.
Adam, 4 random questions, all worth 2 points, unless you ask for the options. If you ask for the options, those questions are worth 1 point. Are you ready?
Yes.
Question 1. Name the only original Universal Studios Florida ride that remains open. Name the only original Universal Studios Florida ride that remains open.
Kind of the options.
Sure. The E.T. Adventure, Back to the Future, the ride, or Jaws?
What was the second one?
I'll give it to you again. The E.T. Adventure, Back to the Future, the ride, or Jaws?
Let's do Jaws.
Final answer?
Yep, final answer.
All right, question 2. Who is the lead prosecutor in the murder trial of O.J. Simpson?
Oh, I need the options.
Was it Johnny Cochran, Marcia Clark, or Christopher Darden?
Can you repeat those one more time?
Yeah. Was it Johnny Cochran, Marcia Clark, or Christopher Darden?
Let's go Christopher Darden.
Final answer?
Yep.
Question number 3. Where did the Desperate Housewives live? We need the street name, please.
I'm going to need the option.
Options are Spooner Street, Wisteria Lane, or Evergreen Terrace.
Let's go Evergreen Terrace.
Final answer?
Final answer.
All right, Adam, final question. Identify the military mind whom Ulysses S. Grant appointed as commanding general of the Army in 1869.
Oh, I'll need the options here.
Sure. I can't imagine.
Robert E. Lee, William Sherman, or Philip Sheridan?
Philip Sheridan. Final answer.
All right.
All right.
How you feeling, Adam?
Oh, not great, especially the Housewives one.
I actually knew that one. I used to watch that show. Pretty good show, Anthony.
I didn't watch that one. Yeah.
Good show.
All right, Kerry's back from the Cone of Silence.
Kind of quick.
It was kind of quick,
Yep.
which means one of two things.
He knows his stuff or he knows nothing.
Bingo.
Let's find out. All right. Kerry?
Yeah.
Your category is random.
Oh, my gosh.
Jamie?
Oh, you better pack a lunch,
All
buddy.
right.
Question 1, CD. Name the only original Universal Studios Florida ride that remains open.
I was just in Florida. Didn't go to Universal, though. Or did we? Hold on. We did.
Oh, man.
Is that where I went?
That was San Francisco. It was the NBA
I
All-Star
went to
game.
San Francisco,
Puerto
but
Rico.
I was in Florida
Yeah.
for the Illinois football game, and we did go to Universal. Read the question one more time,
Sure.
please.
Name the only original Universal Studios Florida ride that remains open.
Okay. I may know this if I get the options, seeing as though I was just there. Options, please.
The E.T. Adventure, Back to the Future, the ride, or Jaws?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's Jaws. Don't think it was that one. E.T. or Back to the Future? Winkle and Einhorn, you say, huh? E.T. or Back to the Future? Did I see an E.T. ride? I feel like I saw an E.T. ride. Didn't get on it because I don't do roller coasters, fellas. Give me E.T., final answer. Hope that was the option after I talked myself out of all that.
Question 2.
Yeah.
Who was the lead prosecutor in the murder trial of O.J. Simpson?
Oh! Was it okay? Chris Darden was his name's Chris Darden. He was there. But it was the woman, I think, that was the lead. Read the question one more time, please.
Who is the lead prosecutor in the murder trial of O.J. Simpson?
Okay. Chris Darden, I believe. I think that's his name. He was the second. Oh, I don't know her name. All right. I think it's a woman. Because I think Chris was the second chair, whatever they call it. Give me the options, please.
Was it Christopher Darden?
No.
Johnny Cochran?
No, he was OJ's defense attorney.
Or Marcia Clark?
Marcia Clark, final answer.
Question number 3. Where did the Desperate Housewives live? We need the street name, please.
Oh! I was with,
Carey knows.
Oh, wasn't it something Lane? I don't know. Oh, these are terrible questions. All right, give me the options, Marshy.
Options are Spooner Street, Wisteria Lane, or Evergreen Terrace.
Oh, Evergreen Terrace. What is that from? I think it was Wisteria Lane. Is that what the answer is?
Wisteria Lane is the option.
Final answer.
All righty.
Final question, CD. Identify the military mind whom Ulysses S. Grant appointed as commanding general of the Army in 1869.
Oh, I honestly feel like I'll know this one, too. It should be a well-known name. Is it a well-known name, Anthony? You can't tell me? Okay, don't worry about it. I hate taking options, but I have no clue. Options, please.
Robert E. Lee, William Sherman, or Philip Sheridan?
Robert E. Lee is the only one that makes sense, but I don't feel like it's him. Don't know history very well, Jamie.
I'm Canadian.
Yeah. Today.
Yeah. Maybe until
Born.
9:30.
Yeah. Can you give me the options one more time, please? Robert E. Lee.
Robert E. Lee, William Sherman, or Philip Sheridan?
Sherman sounds like a name that is not it, but Sheridan does too. Sheridan Hotels? No? That Sherman or Sheridan, huh? The
Sherman Paint or Sheridan Hotels?
All right. I wanted to go with Sheridan because that makes the least amount of sense. And I'm going to go with the Anthony Stalter approach this time. We go Sheridan. Final answer. Let me grab my stuff and head back to the chair.
All right.
All right.
CD versus Adam in
that was tough.
random. Why don't we start off with the last question? Identify the military mind whom Ulysses S. Grant appointed as commanding general of the Army in 1869. We just heard Carey say Philip Sheridan because he's heard of the hotels. Adam also went Philip Sheridan. Correct answer is
Philip Sheridan.
Nice
Spelled
job.
completely different than Sheridan.
Yeah. 1-1 tie. You both needed the options
worked,
on
Anthony.
that. It worked.
Finally.
That's right. It worked.
Right.
The Rock has come back.
Yeah.
Name the only original Universal Studios Florida ride that remains open. Adam went with Jaws. Carey went with E.T., the E.T. Adventure. Correct answer is...
It is the E.T. Adventure.
CD's up by 1. Where do the Desperate Housewives live? We need the street name, please. Carey went with Wisteria Lane.
It was Lane, I'm pretty sure.
Adam went with Evergreen Terrace.
That sounds good, too.
Correct answer is...
Oh, it was Wisteria Lane.
Wisteria Lane. I think Evergreen Terrace was the
place?
That's something else.
Simpsons.
Was it Simpsons?
It's
or
Evergreen
what was
Terrace is
Melrose
something.
Yeah, maybe it was
Like,
Melrose.
I don't
I
know.
knew it was something Lane.
CD up by
Great
2.
cast, by the way.
Yeah.
Great plot.
Yeah.
Great plots. Who was the lead prosecutor in the murder trial of O.J. Simpson? Adam went Christopher Darden.
Okay.
Carey went Marcia Clark. What is it, Marcia?
I'm just laughing at our text line. You said Sherman was the paint. It's actually Sherwin.
Oh, that's right. My bad.
And E.T. is not a roller coaster.
So we're doing well.
It's still around, though.
Yeah, that's right. Sherwin. Sherwin Williams.
There you go.
Yeah, not Sherman. Not Richard Sherman. Anyways, all right, Adam.
Yeah.
You have chosen poorly.
You lose. Not today.
The lead prosecutor was Marcia Clark in the O.J. trial.
That was tough.
Yeah. Carey wins 4-1. Sorry, Adam. Thanks for listening, man. Thanks for playing.
Yep.
Good job, Adam.
So thanks, guys.
Thanks,
care.
Adam.
Take care, buddy.
I would have got that one.
I didn't think they're so bad. But you know what? For T-Bone,
That's probably hard.
He wouldn't know anything about the Housewives. Probably doesn't really know about Marcia
O.J.
Clark
trial. Yeah.
And I don't think anybody would have known without the options.
Without I just guessed on
Yeah.
that. I had no clue.
So it's a tough one.
Yeah.
All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN with Andrew Marsh, Kerry Davis, and Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. Nice job, CD, by the
Yes,
way.
very well done.
Yeah, nice job. We asked for your mic drops on whether or not Oli has kind of changed your minds when it comes to getting behind the Cardinals this season. We played the audio earlier from you. We asked for your mic drops, and you delivered. So we'll hear your Scott Lee Eating Company mic drops next on 101 ESPN.
our fans will come out and they'll show up if the Cardinals put a good product on the field, if they just play hard and they play real baseball instead of the boring brand of baseball that Mo introduced with his stupid analytics.
All right, that was Janet, the one and only Janet. I hope Janet's okay. She seemed maybe like she was under the weather or something. Maybe she's just passionate. She was tearful, thinking about what those damn numbers did to her Cardinals.
Janet, I haven't heard from Janet in a while. What's going on?
I told you she is on the BK and Ferrario show. She doesn't.
Did Janet
chime in?
Did she dump us
as much?
Janet, we missed
pretty
you.
sure
She chimes in. Marsh.
I haven't heard much from her.
Well, you weren't even here last week.
you weren't here last week.
Yeah, but I'm
Janet.
talking like the last 5 months.
Yeah. She chimes in.
I think you're.
I've been listening. She's been listening.
Did you ice her out? Are you not?
Of course I didn't ice her out. Otherwise, I wouldn't have grabbed her mic drop.
Yeah, but I feel
was that in BK and Ferrario's folder?
Absolutely not. She sent us a mic drop when you asked for it.
Excellent. All right. Now we still believe in Janet.
Yeah, we do.
So that was Janet. I was thinking about this, kind of building off of what she said. Even if the Cardinals, should we say, win, fans show up. I think, though, that she nailed something. It's about competing. Like, be competitive. Have a good product. Have something that St. Louis fans would get proud of. Even the ones that are like, look, championship or bust. Even those Cardinals fans. I think if they just played a style that was great fundamental baseball and they stayed in the wild card race all season long, I think fans would be into it. I don't think it takes much for Cardinals fans to dive headfirst into their team. It has always been that way. This is a team that has drawn 3.3 to 3.5 million fans every single year until the product got so boring that apathy set in. I don't think it takes much.
Do you think that more people could possibly attend Cardinals games this year than they did last year?
Depends on what the product looks like.
I think so.
Let's just, hypothetically, because we haven't seen it yet.
By the way, we have Jim Montgomery coming up in less than 10 minutes.
Hypothetically, because we haven't seen it yet. But there's a lot of young guys. Young players are historically fun to watch. There's mistakes and things that happen, but that's kind of like the excitement of it. And then you got somebody runs into one, puts it upper deck, and it's exciting stuff. So I said this last year. This year coming up could be better than what they had last year. Not just from a fan's perspective to watch the game, but even the results.
Yeah, I'm with you. Again, it just depends on what it looks like. But yeah, that youthful energy, I think, could come to the ballpark.
Sometimes that's fun stuff.
Let's hear from Jason, who left us the Scott Lee Heating Company mic drop.
So I believe, like Jamie, that it's a new season, it's a new start. So I am going to spring training in less than 2 weeks to take in 4 Cardinals games because I want to see what my future dollars being spent on is going to look like. Am I going to be like Carey and not go into the 100-degree ballpark during the middle of the day? Or am I going to be a diehard baseball fan, which I am, and I listen and I watch until they utterly tick me off and I can't watch it anymore?
Okay. You're like me either way.
Both sides of Carey there on that one. All right, let's also hear from Sharon in Clayton.
Hey guys, Sharon here. Yeah, it's a big no for me in response to Oli and asking fans to come down there. You know, it's like I compare it to going to buy a new car at a car dealership, and you've had the same car before, but it keeps breaking down. But you know, you just keep going back and spending, you know, your hard-earned money on this car. You know, that's just stupid. Nobody does that. And as far as, you know, 2011 and the TLR era, that team earned that support. Those guys were, you know, in the World Series how many times? And in the NLCS, they earned that. I'm sorry, his team and him, they haven't earned it. So, you know, it's a big no. Thanks.
Yeah, I think Sharon used the word earn a couple of times there, and I completely agree with you. It's the one word that kept running through my head when we were talking about this early on. It is. You do have to earn that.
Yeah.
I don't, especially in baseball, when you have teams like the Cardinals have been that have operated in this win and get it. Just get in. Just get in. We're fine. Just get in. We'll turn a profit. Just get in. Who knows? Okay. You want to operate that way? Fine. But if you're no longer even just getting in, then I'm not going to dump my hard-earned money into this until you do show me signs of turning things around. Again, fans aren't stupid. Mm-hmm. And they aren't just going to say, hey, I'll blindly follow you to the baseball gates of hell when you put an average product on the field.
It's heaven, Anthony. It's baseball heaven.
Has it been? Has it been the last couple of years, Marsh?
It looks like a cool stadium.
It's hot as hell.
The stadium's great.
It's hot as hell.
Bobbleheads and fireworks and post-game concerts.
There's been fire.
You got to win for the fireworks to go off.
What?
Hit home runs. Then they
got to earn that, too.
You got to earn it.
Jim Montgomery will join us next. We'll talk to the Blues head coach about what his preparations are for tonight's Team USA and Team Canada game.
You think he's going to go to any Cardinal games this summer?
Him?
Yeah.
Let's ask him.
Yeah.
Next on 101 ESPN.
101 ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. Tonight, we have the United States taking on Canada in the Four Nations Face-Off Championship game. You can listen to that one right here on 101 ESPN. Pregame starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7. We are going to talk with Blues head coach Jim Montgomery next. We'll dive into this Four Nations face-off, as well as your St. Louis Blues. That's coming your way next, right here in the Fast Lane. I'm Andrew Marsh, and this Sports Center update is driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at Londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
With the head coach of your St. Louis Blues, Jim Montgomery. Coach Monty is presented by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
It's a Fast Lane on 101 ESPN with Kerry Davis and Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. Let's head to the Collier and Thompson phone line. We're joined by the Blues head coach, Jim Montgomery. Coach, how you doing today?
I'm doing excellent. Thanks, guys.
You fired up for tonight's Four Nations championship game?
How can you not be after that first game? I mean, I can't wait for this puck to drop.
Now, are you with your own players, of course, being on Team Canada? Were you a little nervous? I mean, not that he needed any help. Were you a little nervous when 55 started to throw some haymakers out there?
Oh, no, I was excited. Especially with how well he did and how composed he was. And it looked like he came real close to hurting someone.
Yeah, I was. So, first of all, Monty, I loved the start of the game. That was unbelievable. The fireworks right away. But then if we isolate Colton Parayko on that one, like, remember, you weren't with the team yet, but last year he had a fight in San Jose against Klim Kostin. And Klim Kostin can throw him pretty good. And Colton, the same thing. He was very composed, wasn't flailing around. And then he goes and gives it to JT Miller like he owned him. I mean, this is something. Can you imagine if the big boy did that just a little more often out there?
Yeah. I mean, people give him a lot more space. Not that he doesn't have a lot of space with how physically gifted he is. But, yeah, I mean, we need him on the ice, so it's kind of like one of those things, right? Like, Colton, just play your game, but if someone wants to mess around like that, maybe you should just make sure they know who they're messing around with.
Coach, when you're watching these games, what have you taken away? What is the best part for you, being in hockey as long as you have? What is the best part of it when you get to watch all these great players play against each other?
Well, just, how great the game is at that kind of speed and skill level. It's another level above the NHL. So it's the best hockey you could possibly see. And just the intensity and passion people have when they're representing their country.
Monty, when you watch games like that, like I find myself, I used to watch the games, and I was not watching it as a fan. I'm sitting there breaking down the game, looking for the mistakes and whatnot. When you're watching a game like the other night, are you watching it as a fan, or are you still kind of in coach mode somewhat, seeing what systems they're running, how they're doing things? Are you dialed in?
No, I'm watching it as a fan, just because I'm looking to see when, the best of the best are playing like this, who actually has a little more in them than somebody else. How does someone... Like, everyone talks about Sidney Crosby and what he's been able to achieve, at the international events. And it's pretty obvious. It's like in '87 when Gretzky and Lemieux took over the Canada Cup. It's memories you don't forget when the greatest players elevate and put themselves on another level from everybody else.
Jim Montgomery joining us right now on the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. Coach, how vital, has it been for you and your staff to get this break? You were, when you came here to St. Louis and you're appointed head coach, and boom, you're in game mode now. How valuable has it been this 2-week break when it comes to internal evaluations, and what are some of the things that you've kind of unearthed?
Yeah, I mean, for to be able to sit back and analyze, where the team played well, where we didn't play well, how we can get better. You really take the grind of the day-to-day, and you're able to look at it objectively. And you really see, a couple of areas that we feel we need to be better at, and that's consistent at winning races to goal lines. And for that means if the other team has one player going, we have two. If they have two, we have three. And conversely, at the other end, the offensive end, it's the forechecking part that we think we can be better in our forecheck, and we think we can be better offensively, being hard in hard areas, which is at the nets, in the corners, and having people on the inside, which gets the dirty goals.
Coach, when you get a break like this, do you and your coaching staff, how often do you all meet? Do you meet? And do you also have any communication with the players, or do you just let them have their time off and go about their things, and you and the coaches just take care of your business?
Yeah, for the majority of the time, you let the players have their time away. You might send a couple of text messages and stuff about, some things you may see, whether it's something that's a quote you like or something like that. But as coaches, we sit down before the break and we're like, okay, I give every assistant a project. And here's what I want you to analyze, and we're going to come back. We had our PP coach analyze our PK. We had our PK coach analyze our PP, scouting ourselves. So that when we come back and we meet, we're looking at how we can push our team to be significantly better.
Monty, look, it's been an up and down season, to say the least, for everybody. And, for certain players, I'll just bring it out, like Robert Thomas, maybe even Pavel Buchnevich. How instrumental can a break from the game be for a guy like that in order to kind of reset a little? And like you said, maybe you send him a quote, maybe you send him a text, and he comes back a little refreshed. And then maybe once you get that player back here, you're like, all right, now it's pedal to the metal time.
Yeah, mentally it's refreshing. I know what it did for me, be able to go home to my family and just be a dad, drop people off at school, take them to dance or volleyball or hockey practice, whatever the case may be. And it's also for the players, the two-star players you mentioned, they get a chance to get away, they look back, and you can tell by the way we came back here how refreshed people are, how more open-minded they are to anything we're doing, just because they haven't had the frustration of maybe a couple of losses in the last 2 days.
So fast forward here, Canada playing U.S. tonight, and then it's a quick turnaround, Monty. You get a game again on Saturday against a hell of an opponent in the Winnipeg Jets. How in the next, let's say 2 weeks or so, how do you manage the guys who are playing at Four Nations? Because they didn't get the break. They got practicing right away. They got to the tournament. It's an intense tournament, as we've seen. It's been awesome. I think it's been great for both players. But how do you manage that, moving the ball down the line here a little bit?
Yeah, physically, I really don't worry about the guys that were at the Four Nations, because over the 2-week period, they've played 4 games. And that's, at least 3 to 4 less than what you would play in a regular NHL schedule at that time. So physically, but it's the mental side of it. And we're going to look to give them a few more days off than the rest of the team, just because they need to get mentally refreshed. It's when you're representing your country and you're playing in big games on a national stage and everybody's watching, as you could tell by the ratings of the ESPN game, for an NHL game, they need a mental break, because we don't want them to get mentally tired.
Now, Coach, last thing for me, a couple of weeks ago, we were all kind of sick. You called Jamie Sniffles, which he's kind of taken a liking to that nickname. Marsh and myself were out, and you told Anthony. Yeah, you did. You told me that in the office. Right. Anthony you told him he was the Iron Man of the fast lane. He's been walking around here with his chest hair out, his gold chains on. Can you let him know that he is not indeed the Iron Man of the fast lane? He's kind of taken and run with that title, and we're not a fan of it.
Tell him, Coach.
You're responsible, Monty.
Well, Anthony told me he doesn't have any chest hair because grass doesn't grow on a busy street.
I didn't hear anything you said, Coach. That'll do it for us here. Appreciate the interview and all that, Coach, but we'll let you go. No, when you work with a bunch of professional athletes, Coach. I mean, you coach them. Obviously, you gotta build them up at all times. They're very sensitive.
Hey, no doubt, hey.
Oh, who are you kidding, Monty?
Coach, we always look forward to these interviews. I know you got a lot of work to do getting ready for the post All-Star break, so we appreciate it as always, and we'll check back next week.
Thanks, guys. Look forward to next week.
All right, take
Appreciate
care.
it.
Thanks, Coach.
Cheers.
See ya. Really, Carey?
I'm saying, you had your championship belt on. You had your championship. I'm like, what is this belt for? I'm the Iron Man of the fast lane.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing?
He's just going around licking doorknobs.
Like,
I can't get sick.
I don't think I have.
You're out licking all the knobs up and down the hallway.
Is that what he was doing?
Yeah.
I was wondering what he was doing. He's trying to lick the covering off.
Oh, just look at the analytics.
He's aggressive, too.
Let's see here. Carey, out 4 days. Jamie, out 4 days plus.
Oh, you can't count my vacation.
I took a vacation.
Yeah.
4 days.
I missed one day due to being sick.
Ryder, sick. T-Bone, sick.
You have an advantage.
Brandon Kiley, often sick. Ferrario, sick. Yeah, so Anthony.
Where are you getting these statistics from?
He
Not
made them up.
Making it up.
Not
He
sick.
made them up.
He did. He made it all up.
Not to mention he was the outbreak monkey last year
He
that
was.
got us all
He
started.
drug it all into the studio.
Brought it all. He was over there dying.
He almost died. Walked past me and breathed in my face.
I gotta go, guys.
Hey, man, take care.
Here's my impression of
Singe my nose hairs.
Here's my impression of myself that day. All right, the Blues play tonight. Jamie, what are your thoughts?
He just sat there.
Now, he did, too.
And didn't say a word for the entire segment.
Coming up next, the six-pack. Guys, I gotta go. Thank you, Always King. This is, I'm his hero. Appreciate you, King. All right.
The bar's low.
You're hilarious. 314-399-9646 is the Air Comfort Service text line. If you want to ask us a question, our Sports Six-Pack is next. Send it in there. Again, Sports Six-Pack next. I made it up.
time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six-Pack is now.
Time for the Sports Six-Pack here in the Fast Lane on 101 ESPN. 314-399-9646 is the Air Comfort Service text line with Kerry Davis and Jamie Rivers. Here's Andrew Marsh with your questions.
Question number 1.
All right, from the 217, Jamie, what's the plan for tonight while watching the hockey game? I picture you wearing the Freedom Bird Speedo while having a Canada flag draped over the shoulders, then eating a bowl of popcorn and a bourbon with Irv sitting on your shoulder.
Oh, man, I wish Irv was here for this. He would have a blast. He'd be terrorizing my dogs, the cat, bearded dragon, all that stuff. Great. No, plan tonight. Kerry Davis is going to make an appearance at the Chateau Rivers.
Yeah.
And his lovely lady friend, girlfriend. I don't know, girlfriend. All right, I don't know where we're at yet. I didn't know we had titles yet on this. You know, is it Facebook official?
Lady. Yeah.
Is it Facebook official?
Yeah, it is. Yeah, I posted a picture.
I saw that.
Oh,
but
that means it's official.
All right.
Once you post a picture, you're done.
Yeah,
it's over.
Okay.
Lovely.
It's over?
Lovely woman from Chicago.
It's over for everything else.
No,
for everybody else.
For everybody else. Come on.
I'm just wondering.
What's wrong with you? What are you doing here?
But we're gonna have some American-style food. We're gonna get pizza, chicken wings, and chicken tenders, and something else.
No poutine?
We're getting a massive tray of poutine.
Yeah.
Ordering up the fries, having them made. We had the poutine sauce sent down from Canada. We got the cheese. So you'll be able to make your own. You'll customize your own poutine.
Yeah.
Barry.
What?
We
I had that when I went to Vancouver.
Looking for a little Labatt's Blue tonight. We'll have some Budweiser as well. We're gonna certainly the bourbon bar will be open. So that's kind of what we're doing. We got Haas and a couple of his buddies are going to be there. McKinnon, Ashley, Carey, his girlfriend, another friend of mine, and all the animals and critters and whoever else shows up.
Any Canadian bacon?
No Speedo though.
Oh, hey, Carey, you know the rule, right? You
Anything's
never
possible.
know when it's going to make an appearance.
We've heard some stories today, and we didn't.
You never know. Kerry?
Yep, all righty.
There's a reason why he's asking you over.
Yeah, I know. All right, gotta be careful.
You'll find out.
Kerry, straight up.
I'm coming in tomorrow.
Second intermission, you'll find out.
Is that when it starts?
Just eat your poutine.
Will there be Canadian bacon on some of these pizzas?
You mean ham?
Canadian bacon.
Yeah, no. Canadian bacon looks nothing like that. This is my biggest pet peeve. People go Canadian bacon. It's called ham.
Is that what that is?
People say it's Canadian bacon. No, it's ham. It's not. That's not bacon at all. It's ham.
You're right.
Fast lane yourself.
Gator says it sounds like CD and Jamie taking a sick day tomorrow.
Oh no. We'll play guilty tomorrow. We're fine.
We'll be fine.
Yeah.
We'll be here.
Marsh, you ready to do another show by ourselves?
Yeah. I'm already mentally preparing for it.
Good.
Question number 2.
All right, from the 636.
You're already prepared for it.
Yeah.
Kerry, let's go.
Put it in now.
Go ahead, Marsh.
It'll just be me and you tomorrow. I mean, it's already started today.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
All right, from the 636, I heard you guys talking earlier about coaches and players. Should Cardinal fans be more excited about the coaches that they brought in rather than the free agents they did not?
Oh.
If the coaches are able to unlock things, and I think when you have... from just listening to the conversation with Jordan Walker earlier, it sounds like there are some things that he's learned in this spring training and this offseason that he hadn't learned before. And so I think if they're adding value to your team, to your ball club that are and Jordan Walker even mentioned he has a plan for every single batter. Like there are things that he wants each one of those guys to do. So yeah, you can be excited. I think at the end of the day, again, it falls to the guys on the field though. Like you can be excited about all these new age techniques and you're bouncing different colored balls at us and it's fun. Like cool, yeah. Do you ground the field ball? Do you feel the ground ball when it's hit to you? Huh? Yeah. Okay.
Me? Yeah. It's just a matter of getting it over to first.
Well, Anthony, I wouldn't.
Wasn't going there.
I wasn't doing
I
that.
thought you were asking me a direct question. I was being honest.
Kind of,
I think
but
it was
not
rhetorical.
He wasn't asking.
My bad. I was say the glove. Oh, fine. Yeah, great even. Arm.
Good glove work.
Good glove work.
You gotta get it out faster.
Well, not.
Well, that's usually the plan.
Yeah.
Not
Fast as you
always.
can.
No.
All right.
Yep.
Get it over there.
Yeah, what's your pop time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Depends.
Not good enough, apparently. Not even close. Should we be excited about? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And here's the nice thing. Like Carey and Jamie demonstrated earlier, if Jordan Walker or any of the young guys struggle, you just blame the coaches.
It's good, yeah.
You're such
What is wrong with you?
You always have somebody to blame.
Oh, my goodness.
We
Like
have
the
Canada,
machine.
Jordan Binnington.
Oh, that's a great example, Anthony. They already have their scapegoat.
The key
Before the game
to this,
started.
the key to being a fan is to have your scapegoat. Not an escape plan, but your scapegoat. Canada tonight has already, they're ready. Jordan Binnington will take the fall.
Sometimes it's not even a player or a coach. It's a fan that's sitting in the stands. Instead of blaming the shortstop for bobbling a ball and continuing the inning,
God,
let's blame the fan.
Absolutely.
And get him out of town.
And get him out of
Those are some
town.
of the
Go
worst
into hiding.
fans.
Some of the worst.
Yeah.
That was
For a long
ridiculous.
time.
For forever. That man didn't do anything wrong. You know how many people reach for that damn ball?
Oh, all of them that
Yeah.
were sitting around
Yeah.
that hypothetical situation.
For sure. I don't know if it's ever happened before.
I mean,
just an example.
Probably not, but that's a great example.
I would assume that they'd try and, maybe be easier on the guy if they won the World Series after 100-plus years.
Nope.
Right.
Nope.
You know?
Still his fault.
Nice.
Still his fault?
Maybe buy the
Still
guy
his
a ring,
fault.
you know?
Yeah, don't blame the shortstop making a truckload of money to field a
Field a
routine ground ball.
Yeah, why not?
Go ahead and blame the fan for reaching for a foul ball of all things. Yeah. All right.
That's ridiculous.
Hey, let's carry this over. We got part 2 of the Sports Six Pack, so keep those questions coming in. 314-399-9646 is our Air Comfort Service text line. More of the Sports Six Pack next.
Fellas, it's Kerry Davis, and we know how important working out is. It is shown to improve cardio, reduce stress, improve your mood. But there's something else that does that too. Yeah, sex. You probably take a pre-workout or have a coffee before training. So why should sex be any different? That's why more guys are turning to Blue Chew, and you should as well. If you could benefit from a little extra in the bedroom, Blue Chew can help. If you're ready for a great offer, well, how about free? Go to BlueChew.com, consult with a licensed medical provider, and get your first month free, and then you will be ready to chew it and do it. Blue Chew is your secret weapon in the bedroom or wherever you decide to get it on. Blue Chew is an online prescription service, so no visits to the doctor's office, no awkward conversations, no waiting in line at the pharmacy, and it ships to your door direct in a discreet package. Blue Chew's licensed medical providers will work with you to find the right ingredient and strength for your prescription. If you don't like swallowing pills, there's no problem. Blue Chew has tablets as well. You need to go to BlueChew.com so you can chew it and do it.
question. It's time for the Fast Lane to answer your sports questions.
I want to ask you a bunch of questions. And I want to have them answered immediately.
Asking me all these weird questions.
Answer the question.
Answer the question.
Answer me!
The Sports Six-Pack is now.
5 o'clock, your time check is brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler with Kerry Davis and Jamie Rivers. I'm Anthony Stalter. Here is Andrew Marsh with your questions to the Air Comfort Service text line.
Question number 3.
All right, the people are wondering. This one's from the 314. Why no Marshy or no Anthony at tonight's party?
They were invited. They're too good to show up.
Yeah. Okay. Marcia said, I got better plans.
He literally did.
I never said
he
better
said,
plans.
My friend throws better parties than you, Jamie.
I didn't use the word better.
Which I thought was a bit of a challenge, but still.
Hey, better parties. We always go to his house for parties.
Yeah,
that's what he said. Big games. We go to his house.
Sorry, Rev. Not happening.
Yeah. And Anthony was like,
Anthony,
fast lane, you guys.
Consider it.
Like, yeah. You know I got stuff to do.
Battling his dance, followed by Girl Scouts. Killian's got soccer practice. Homework.
I owe you money for Girl Scouts.
What's more important? All that or Canada versus USA? Historical game. Write them a note. They're
Sorry. You're going to be at Uncle Jamie's tonight.
That's right.
Yeah.
Go Pelicans.
Lincoln's a dragonfly now, so
man.
There should be no confusion on that. We've often talked about getting together more. That'll happen one day.
We're going to have a fast lane shaker this summer. For sure.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to do many fast lane shakers.
Follow me.
Jamie's got a new house.
Yeah.
I'm going to have you guys over to a little barbecue.
Yes.
What you guys don't know is that Chris and I are going to leave.
Leave us with the kids.
You know, fine. God.
Uncle Jamie?
Uncle Jamie's here.
You got to come back like, oh, my God.
Killian's going to have a whole new thing, a whole bunch of things to share.
No, the kids and I thought you guys would love us redecorating.
Jamie, why are the walls black?
Because Killian painted them.
Yeah. He's not old enough to do that by himself. Sure he is.
Sure he is.
Get to work, kid.
Give him the right
encouragement.
You give him the right spray gun, he can do whatever he wants.
Look what Uncle Jamie got me. Is that a nail gun?
Yeah. He just starts shooting
that
at
trim
people.
isn't loose anymore.
Awesome. All right, go ahead, Marsh.
Question number 4.
All right, well, speaking of the game from the 314, we've done this before with the NFL in the playoffs. Who is the obscure hero for tonight's game? That's from Bub.
Oh, the obscure hero. That's a good question. Because it's not going to be. It's not going to be the Kachuk brothers. It's not going to be Connor McDavid. It's
Is
not
Jordan
going to be
Bennington obsure?
No.
That's where
It's
I would
hard
go.
to say an obscure hero with a team full of all-stars.
Right.
It could
So
be.
who would
like,
be?
Could be Jake Sanderson.
Yeah.
Or like Seth Jarvis. I don't think he's played one game this whole tournament. He's coming into the final game instead of Travis Konechny. What if he scores like 2 goals? Now, he's not. He's still one of the best players in the world, but it's,
Yeah.
he hasn't really played. I don't know.
That's a good one.
Bigger question is, does Chris Kreider stay in the lineup? Because he was out for the first 3 games. Then Brady got hurt. Kreider comes in, scores 30 seconds into the game. Does he stay in now?
Over Brady?
No,
If
not
that's
no,
the
no,
case.
no.
No.
No, it would be someone else.
Who would that person be?
I don't know.
Would it be like Brock Nelson?
Could be. Yeah, that's a good call.
That's tough, though, because you're telling a veteran guy who's represented this country for a long time, hey, buddy, you're not
Kreider's
playing.
played 8 years, too.
That's true. I'm just saying maybe it would be over a younger player.
Yeah.
But then again, like, you got to weigh the options of...
We're taking Jack Hughes out? No, you're not.
And that's the problem with the All-Star team. It's like, who do you, and that's a tough thing for one of the coaches to
I just
decide.
look at Kreider as a big guy. He can play physical. He'll get to the front of the net. Brock Nelson's fine. He's fine. I think Kreider's better.
Jamie, I wanted to ask you this because I was thinking about this. McAvoy got cross-checked into the goal the opening night.
Yeah.
When they're against Sweden. And so when his team plays, I think it was the Canadians play. When they play them, is it on?
It could be.
Is it like you
Is
took
there
a shot?
carryover? Yeah, they're always
like
is.
you took a shot at our guy, in the Four Nations tour, and we're going to take a shot at you?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It's never off the table.
Good. That's why I like hockey, man.
No, you can remember.
You get to punch people in the face.
You wait 6 months and get them back.
Yeah.
Well, that's why the whole Brandon Hagel and Matthew Tkachuk thing was so interesting, because they play on two different teams that are rivals within the game itself already. So that added an extra layer to what that fight was. I think, of course, it carries over.
It absolutely carries over.
Yeah. I probably wouldn't be good at hockey.
Why do you say that?
Yeah, why do you say that?
One, I can't skate. Yeah,
So that's a bit of a problem.
It's a small part of the
But
game.
I got a stick in my hand.
10%,
Tell him,
right?
Jamie.
Like, I would, you piss me off, I'm probably going to slash you right in the back of your knees.
That's good. You can do that in lacrosse.
Yeah.
Like, you'd get a little apprehensive when you're suspended for 3 or 4 games and it's costing you $150,000. Then you'd be like, maybe I'm not just
worth it.
Well, maybe
sometimes
once,
it is.
But
though.
when, at the end of the year, when you owe the NHL money and you're not,
I don't want to owe nobody. I don't want to play for free. Yeah. Okay. You got a point there.
You know,
Yeah.
like,
Okay.
I mean, unless you're making $8-9 million, but
Then I can get
away with
a couple of 3 or 4 game suspensions.
If you're making $8 or $9 million, you're probably not slashing people left and right.
You're probably right.
Yeah.
At that point,
You can
I
trip
have
them,
somebody
though.
to slash somebody for me.
You pay your teammate.
Yeah, I got you.
You know what you could do, Carey?
Slashgate.
You know what you could do? You could stand in front of the net, not trying to block the goalie.
Oh, hell no.
Right? But if you're a defender, there's a guy standing there, and what you can do, and maybe the ref won't see, maybe give him a little whack in the back of the Achilles right there, right where the skate stops, and right in that little area, give him a little whack.
Or you can just ride it up and ring the bells, as we used to say.
There you go.
You're trying to lift his stick, Carey, it just happened.
Bop. Yeah, I'm not standing in front of the net. I've said this multiple times on these airwaves. There's a few things in life that I won't do. I don't mind blocking a linebacker blitzing from 5 yards away. I don't mind blocking a defensive end that has got me by 100, 115 pounds. Not a problem. I'm not taking a slap shot to the face. Never.
Yeah, we'll get you a bubble.
Never.
It doesn't feel good.
I don't give a damn.
We'll put you in a
Do
bubble,
it for the
Carey.
team. Now, hell no. Not I. Oh, no. You want me to stand here and tell you want me to lie on the ice and take a slap shot? You done lost your damn mind.
Carey.
I bet I don't.
It doesn't hurt that bad.
Oh, yeah,
Tell him,
whatever.
Jamie.
It hurts terribly bad.
Doesn't feel very good, Anthony.
Jamie just told a story the other day about getting bolts in his ribs.
Yeah.
From laying it all out on the line.
And look how it turned out.
I'm fine.
Yeah.
Ish.
I mean,
I remember getting a
Still
one-timer
alive.
right in the face, right in the chin, and everything went black. And then I felt like my face was ripped open.
Yeah, nah.
It was not fun.
Yeah, nah.
Did you go back out and play?
Oh, yeah. Trainer's like, you might want to put a bubble on. I'm like, hell no. Put a bubble on.
I'd have a whole face
And they'll be
mask.
like, then they know they hurt me. That ain't happening.
give me my bucket.
Give me my bucket.
Your jaws on the ice.
It was a little wonky for a while there.
Man. Yeah, nah, I'm cool. I'm okay.
It happens.
Question number 5.
From the 573, do you think that Masyn Winn has a legitimate chance to win the Gold Glove this year?
Yeah.
Was he second last year or third?
Where did he
He did finish. I think he was on the podium,
Let's see.
if I
here.
remember correctly. In fact, some people thought he was jobbed, that he should have won it.
I don't know what he finished.
I thought he was second.
Was he?
Do they
I thought
hit?
he was second.
Yeah, I don't know.
Text line activate.
Text line. Unite.
You all don't know this?
No, we don't know
What's
this.
wrong with you all? You're supposed to know every damn thing.
This is above my pay grade.
Yeah, I think you can win.
What's wrong with y'all? Huh? Let's see. Shortstop.
Can't you just do the thing?
I did do something, but I didn't get the. He was the top 3.
Yeah.
I don't know where he finished though. We don't have that answer. He didn't win. Again, back to the great poet, St. Louis, Cornell Haynes. 2 is not a winner. 3 nobody remembers. Told you all that earlier.
Yeah, he's going to win this year.
All right.
Yeah, it's going to win.
Let's see. Nope, these are just the finalists. Nope, I don't have an answer.
Marsh, you can go ahead and ask the next question. We already answered this one.
Why? This is fun.
It's going to win.
Question number 6.
Thanks, Anthony.
Yeah.
From the 618, is the NHL a regional sport like Major League Baseball?
Yes.
How does the NHL continue to gain exposure and fans?
Four Nations tournament has certainly helped.
Yeah,
it's regional. Absolutely. It's not a bad thing. It's just it's like Major League Baseball. A lot of fans watch their team, and they're not necessarily tuning in to see other games.
Yeah, I mean, for the most part, yes, you're 100% right. But there are certain teams in the league that everybody wants to see.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like if you take the Yankees, even the Dodgers last year, like if it's on, you're watching it. You tune into it. Are they your team? Are you cheering? Maybe not necessarily, but you're intrigued.
Yeah.
Like, who's not going to turn on the Dodgers this year the first time Shohei Ohtani's on the mound? Like, you're intrigued. I think that's... No, you're not. Okay.
He is.
Anthony hates
He'll be
everything.
watching it.
I hate the Dodgers. I don't hate everything. I hate the Dodgers.
We went over this
Who
yesterday.
do you love?
I love Lamp. I love you, Jamie.
I love you
and
too.
Carey and Marshy.
What player?
What player in hockey?
No, baseball.
Baseball. I love Jordan Walker. I think he's going to have a big year.
It's a regional team, Anthony. He doesn't understand.
He's missed the whole point.
We're done.
I love Aaron Judge.
There you go.
So if the Yankees are playing,
What about Kai Tom?
No. It's a whole different appreciation for Kai Tom. Yeah, Aaron Judge. So what you're saying is I'll tune in for Aaron Judge.
Yeah, sure.
Is that your point?
You're tuning in for Shohei, too.
I've moved on.
Okay.
You've uninspired me.
Okay.
Paul Skeens, he likes that guy.
Yeah, see, there's
You
a
like
good
that
one.
guy.
Paul
Skeens?
Skeens? That's fun.
Yeah, do I like pitchers that
You like-
are Cy Young worthy and
Yeah.
are actual aces?
You like him.
Yeah, but
I do.
even I turned on a Pirates game last year that had no relevance to the Cardinals
Sure.
because he was pitching. I wanted to see what it looked like.
Right.
Will Clark. That's who Anthony likes.
I
loves
love
him.
Will
Ever.
Clark. Sweetest
Loves him.
left-handed swing you'll ever see.
So let's put him in today's game.
Ken Griffey Jr. might have something to say.
I'll put Will Clark, his swing up against
Does Will
Griffey's.
Clark, his swing, get forgotten about because of King Griffey Jr.?
For sure.
For me, no. For everybody else in the world, yeah. Yeah.
It's sad.
It is.
Man,
it's certainly sad. Yeah. But Jamie, I mean,
What?
in football, you'll watch a Seahawk game.
I didn't watch many Seahawks games.
Yes,
this
you
year.
did.
I didn't.
Seahawks playing the Lions.
I did watch that
You're
one.
in.
Well,
Geno Smith throwing for 500 something yards.
I did watch that one. You're right.
You're in.
All right, you got me.
Right?
Yep.
Thank you.
and it would have nothing to do with the Lions, of course.
Carey's watched more Seahawk games than he's admitted.
I had to. I watched the Rams play the Seahawks.
I'm not
for
talking about
years.
that far.
And every damn time we go out there and they rushed. I remember they rushed for 1.7 yards. An entire game.
That's hard to do.
1.7 yards an entire game. And the NFL doesn't even count sacks as the quarterback lost yards.
That's terrible.
They rushed for 1.7. How is that possible? It's embedded in my brain, Anthony. It was midnight when we left. 1 o'clock. We had to talk politely about what I just watched.
Right. Or else they'd get upset. Like, hey, how about you play better?
This was terrible, man. What are you talking about?
How about we just operate, Rams, as if you play better, we'll say nice things.
Yeah.
As
Sounds
opposed
like a plan
to
to me.
you playing crappy, and we have to say not so nice things.
Ridiculous.
Basic concept. Speaking of Masyn Winn, is he already the face of the franchise? And if so, what does that say about our Cardinals? Well, our Jamie, Marsh, me, our Cardinals. That's next on 101 ESPN.
All right, if you're looking at the big game tonight, Canada, USA, how much fun would it be to join in on all the action? Well, you can with Circa Sports Illinois, the app, the world's largest sports book, right in the palm of your hand. So many great plays out there available. You've got your player props, your game props, your parlays available right there at Circa Sports Illinois. And one thing about Circa Sports, they've got the best odds. Check it out. Download any app that's out there. They have the best odds. Tonight, USA is a underdog. Shocker enough. Canada sitting there at minus 300. So you pick your poison. Check it out over on Circa Sports Illinois. Let's not forget that the lines on all their futures bets, too, are fantastic. Tight money line splits. They just are the best in the business, and it's super easy to use and really easy to find. Go to their website or check them out at the App Store. You're going to love it. It is betting the way it should be, and you control everything with your phone, your tablet, whatever it is that you're working with, they've got you covered. So please don't miss out on the action. Download and bet like a pro with your Circa Sports Illinois app today and join in on all the excitement. If you or someone you know may have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER or text ILGAMB to 833-234.
Oh, it's amazing. You know, he's been around every year since I've been here, and you know, I just like to be a sponge around that guy. So, it's super cool. You know, I love talking to him every time. It's like the first time. So, that's amazing. He's actually going to take us out to dinner tomorrow night, so I'm excited for that. That's always a good time, and yeah, man, just being around him, you know, conversating with him, it's great. It's great that he comes back around and just shows love.
That was Masyn Winn talking about Ozzie Smith. Now, I thought Cardinals veterans weren't allowed in spring training.
Apparently only certain ones.
Yeah.
Or maybe they weren't going to go, and now they did.
Now they did. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
I don't know.
Either way.
I've always loved that, though.
What's that?
I've always loved that. Like, when you see the other older players there.
I think it's awesome.
It is great.
Like,
yeah.
There should be more of them around. For real.
Rich history. It's understanding in all seriousness, it's about understanding the Cardinal tradition, or the Steelers tradition, or the Blues tradition, or the Canadians, Senators, Islanders, Coyotes,
this guy.
Thrashers.
Countdown's on, Carey. We got 40 minutes left.
Oh, it is 5:20. Anyone else? You left anyone out? The Croatians?
You weren't a Devil, were you?
New Jersey.
Oh, yeah, no.
Come on, man.
I feel like I haven't gotten.
I don't know. I stopped listening.
Anyways, so that audio courtesy of KMOV, Masyn Winn talking about Ozzie Smith. Is Masyn Winn already the face of the franchise? If so, what does it say about the Cardinals? I think this is a good thing. I think Masyn Winn is at least starting to become the face of the franchise. I think that's a good thing. I think this organization does have a rich history. When you talk about the players that wore the birds on the bat, historic figures, I think that's fantastic. I also think this organization has clutched onto their former players for so long that they just kept bringing them back, thinking the fans would, hey, just spoon feed. Hey, remember this guy used to be a Cardinal. Here you go. Show up to the park. The guy can't play anymore. No, but he used to be a Cardinal, so standing O. No, stop. Masyn Winn being the face of the franchise, I think, is a great thing. They need to usher in a new era, and now's the best time to do it when they are clearly in a transition.
Well, don't you think it's awesome, though, too, that Masyn Winn talking about Ozzie Smith and whatnot, but I think it's amazing that Masyn Winn, for me, I would say he's the face of the franchise right now. And he really does remind me a lot of Ozzie Smith. Ozzie Smith did things at shortstop that other guys weren't doing defensively. And then offensively, he was an average player throughout his career. Okay, that's fine. Masyn Winn, maybe slightly above average last year as an offensive player, but one hell of an exciting defensive player. Mm-hmm. So I think it's great, and I think it couldn't be any better to have Ozzie Smith around Masyn Winn and talking about things. And just, like I said earlier, just a subtle little tip here and there. Hey, man, I remember I changed this, or I did this one time. I found it to be easy. And all of a sudden, you're like, oh, man, that really works. And I started picking up things from veteran players over the years. Why it was important is because, one, they had a hell of a career and whatnot. But as players age, you're not as good physically anymore. So mentally, you have to become better. And there's little tips, so things from experience you can do. And when you can take that experience or that tip, how you change your game a little bit, and offer it to a younger player, that younger player now has an advantage. So I love the whole concept.
Yeah, I think it's awesome when you're able to be around legends, players that play the game at a high level, and they play your same position, and you can sit there and just listen and talk and kind of go through the stories of maybe they had moments where they didn't have confidence, or maybe they had moments where they were struggling, and you learn from those because you don't feel like you're alone in this thought process. You're like, oh, crap, you're one of the best players to ever play the game. And you just sit there and listen. I mean, I've sat there and listened to Franco Harris and Rocky Blyer have it's like, oh my God, like, wow.
Franco Harris.
Oh my God. Like you just absorb it all because you're in awe of players that played your position and have had great careers, and you're just like, wow, this is how important that is. So for the Cardinals for any organization to have former players back and be around those young players, it gives them the confidence to become the face of the franchise. Who better than to talk to than Ozzie Smith, who was the face of the franchise, who was the best shortstop in ever, Bob? And you're like, well, how do I get to that level? How do I deal with the pressures of being a young player in a new city? Well, this guy did it. Like, here's how. Talk to him. So I think it just helps. I talked about it earlier, the confidence you gain or you can lose. Those things are what allow you to be the best player that you can be when you have great confidence, and talking to guys like that is only going to make it better.
We get an interesting text from the 314. Curious to see what you guys have to say about this. 314 says, I would say that it is possible to have a faceless franchise. Unfortunately, I think that's where the Cardinals are right now. I think the face of a franchise is somebody that fans around the league know on that team. I don't feel like anybody points to anyone on our team other than a diminished Nolan Arenado yet.
I agree that an organization can be faceless. Yes. And I think this probably dips into the identity conversation that we've had about the Cardinals and what is the identity and all that. I think Masyn Winn is becoming the face of the franchise, but ultimately, if you just take that question literally, yeah, I think that person is right. That you can have a faceless
I don't know
franchise.
if I agree with that, because if you have a faceless franchise, you're probably not winning a lot of baseball games.
Well, or you could be a team that is doesn't have a superstar.
Like 83? Is that a lot?
Ah, come on.
Well, they had a face.
Who was the face of the franchise?
Last year, probably Goldie, don't you think?
Yeah.
Really?
He's pretty nationally known. No.
Okay. All right.
Who's the Arizona Diamondbacks face of their franchise when they went to the World Series?
Probably Christian Walker.
Okay.
And who's the young rookie?
Corbin Carroll.
But you also
can a rookie be the face? I'm asking. I'm being.
Jaden Daniels.
I mean that year, Corbin Carroll. Marte's a good one. I think Corbin Carroll kind of emerged as the face of the franchise that year.
Yeah.
My point overall is just that if you have a successful team, for the most part, you probably have a face of the franchise. I mean, an all-star caliber player.
Well, what about the Rays? Like when they were going on their run, who would you say was the face of their franchise heading into the postseason?
Randy Arozarena.
Well, we know what he did in the postseason, but was he necessarily the face of the franchise? And could the Cardinals replicate that?
Yeah.
He may have been because he caught fire so,
And how far are we going back? Was it Blake Snell?
Okay, yeah, maybe it was.
I mean, 2020, I think you'd have to go Blake Snell during the COVID year, but Randy Arozarena, I don't think was that far behind.
But I think nationally, his attention came during the postseason.
Yeah.
Well, I would agree, for sure.
So, then maybe years after, he is now the face of the franchise because of what he did in the postseason.
Sure. Oh. Splashback Deuce also asks a very good question. If Masyn Winn is the face of the franchise, is there an ass of the franchise?
Oh, there's several.
We don't have.
I've got one.
No, don't do that.
And I know all you guys too.
No,
ready?
I'm not doing it.
An ass of the franchise.
I don't.
Yeah, of the entire franchise.
Player?
Of the entire franchise. Ready?
No.
3.
No or
2, 1. Mo. Thank you for participating.
I didn't want to.
Yeah, these two.
I feel bad, but
I said it. Check the camera.
No, you said.
No, I went Mo.
Nice.
You said it in a very monotone voice.
Yeah.
Well, that's because I was Mo.
Marsh said it with his chest-ish.
Did he say it? I don't know.
I thought you said it, Carey, but you said no.
Carey said nothing.
I said no.
I just checked the video.
Yeah, I did too.
I did it.
You had a replay?
Yeah.
Here we go. Here it comes, right here.
Let's see. I didn't.
We're going to watch Jamie, and I don't think he says it's
behind.
and he goes.
I didn't see
you went, Ma.
I didn't see this.
He said Mo.
Really?
He said Mo.
Video's not enough for you.
I'm not kidding. No, it's not.
Carey, you saw it.
I heard it.
Hey, here's
Carey,
another.
You're invited to my house tonight.
Thank you.
Here's another interesting point. Another interesting point here. 573, face of a franchise has to have some sort of guarantee of that player being there for the foreseeable future. Right?
Masyn Winn.
Masyn Winn. You're not going to let him walk.
Nolan Arenado is not.
Right, he wouldn't be the
He may not
face.
be here by the end of the week.
Right. Arenado right now is like facial hair. You know
what?
He's here today, but who knows?
Facial hair.
Who knows in the future? I don't know if I'm going to
Cardinals
keep
might
this
shave.
facial hair. Exactly.
No,
I mean, it's perfect. It's a perfect analogy.
It's going to be
I think it depends, though. Like, is
I
it
actually got Jamie on that one.
Is it Jamie facial hair because he's had the same facial hair since I've known him?
Exactly. We don't know.
That's true.
Growing out
We
a
don't
little
know.
bit right now, too.
But he's changed it.
Or is it your facial hair when we show up and sometimes
Sometimes
the beard
it's clean.
shave?
Right.
Or is it like mine where I'll have a twirly mustache and a beard the next day? Like
Right.
you just never know.
No. Yeah.
All right.
Something to think
we
about.
got there.
Yeah, I think so too. All right. Is there sometimes a misconception on athletes' ability to lead? We'll have another Cardinals conversation next on 101 ESPN.
ESPN Sports Center.
I'm Andrew Marsh. It's time for a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. After the show, we'll have the pregame for the United States and Canada, the Four Nations Face-Off Championship game. Pregame starts at 6. Puck drop is at 7. If you missed anything from today's show, including our interviews with Chris Kerber and Blues head coach Jim Montgomery, make sure you go to 101ESPN.com or check out the free Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's 101 ESPN mobile app. Just head to the podcast page and you'll find all of our interviews and full shows there, and it's all brought to you by the Schaefer Door Company. We're going to dive back into some baseball, some Cardinals baseball, next right here in the Fast Lane. I'm Andrew Marsh, and this Sports Center update is brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
The fact that he's cognizant not only of his own performance, but the state of the organization, again, I think the Cardinals benefit from this. I think he can come in with the outlook that he wants to leave a good impression on this fan base. He wants to be a positive contributor, not just in performance, but realizing there's a next generation of player. There's a next core group of players coming up through this system, and he can be a big part of shaping the direction of those players for years to come.
That was Trevor Rosenthal, former Cardinals reliever, on his podcast that he does with Katie Wu, Cards Territory, on Nolan Arenado having the potential to shape the next generation of Cardinals. And Nolan Arenado at times has gotten the rap of just being kind of somebody that is intense and fiery and somebody that cares, but maybe not necessarily the best leader. Jamie, CD, do you guys have any examples of guys that you played with that you knew were great leaders, but maybe you had a bad rap on the outside of not being a good leader? Or what you see is what you get. Yeah. And leadership kind of shows itself to not only you guys in a locker room, but also publicly.
Yeah, I think that, I mean, for me, the easiest one or the most glaring was Brett Hull. You know, Brett Hull was the captain here of the Blues, and, you know, he was sometimes smart mouth to the media, and he would say sharp things to teammates and whatnot, but it was never, it was misunderstood a lot, because Hully loved his teammates, and he was messing with the media most of the time, just having a good time, and that's how he messed with his teammates. It wasn't like that he didn't like you or he didn't think you were good. That was just his way of bringing you into the group, you know. If Brett Hull's messing with you, I learned quickly, mess back with him. And when you do that, now all of a sudden this relationship kind of goes back and forth, and then he'll help you. Like for me as a young guy, Brett Hull was instrumental in my acclimation to the Blues. He was. And he sat 2 seats, there was actually 0 seats between us. It was the stereo was there. And he would chirp me when I first get there. He'd look at my stick, laugh at it, and throw it on the ground. And not in a bully way. He'd look at it, check out the curve, and be like, "Oh my!" And drop it. And I'd be like, "Really?" And then I'd pick up his. And be like, "Really? Like this thing?" He's like, "It's got 80 in that one." You know,
it's tough when another guy makes fun of your stick.
Yeah, it is, especially when he's making fun of the curve too. Although he said the shaft was too stiff, didn't like that.
Interesting.
Yeah. But anyways, so Hully was a guy that I think often misunderstood. But when the game was on the line, when you needed a goal, when you needed something, he was there. He was a very good leader. I thought he was a very good captain. I thought it was BS when Mike Keenan stripped him of the C. That was a personal thing with Brett Hull. Because Brett Hull wouldn't conform to the crap that Mike Keenan was doing to the team. He saw it, and he's like, I'm not going to be a part of that.
Did anybody like Keenan?
Yeah, the guys that he drug around with him all over the NHL. Like Stefan Matteau, Brian Noonan, all these guys who went 5 different teams playing for Mike Keenan. Gotcha. They loved him because they may not have played on other teams, but Mike brought him along, extended their careers.
Got it.
So they were like little soldiers, little minions for him.
Sure.
But back on topic, Brett Hull, I felt, was misunderstood a lot of the time.
Kerry?
I don't know if I had a teammate. James Harrison probably is misunderstood. Like, people think of him as just physical, mean. Debo, we call him Debo. Debo is an awesome dude. Like, in the locker room, cool, always, joking, having a good time. Very intense, but that's just his personality. And if you tiptoe around him, you're going to tiptoe around him. Like, that's who you are. But if you are confident and same as what Jamie says, give it back to him. He's a great dude. I don't think, but I think oftentimes how people are perceived by the media and by fans, generally your teammates don't look at you like that. One, because you're all on the same level. You're all professional athletes. You know the amount of work that player puts in and day out, how much they care about the game, how much they care about you as a teammate, and how much they want to work hard to be a good teammate. So when the whole Nolan Arenado, what is it going to be like in the clubhouse? It's not going to be anything. Those guys don't give a damn. Like, they're happy that their guy is back. They ain't seen him. Like, man, I ain't seen you. What you been doing? Like, it's like catching up with an old friend, but you get to play a kid's game and make a lot of money doing it, and you get to have fun. And so it's not an issue in a clubhouse or in a locker room. It's just, this is what we are. This is what we're doing. How other people perceive you, that guy's a jerk. Nah, he's just a jerk to you because you ask dumbass questions. Like,
yeah, sorry about that, by the way.
So that's what that is. So it's as in the locker room, in the clubhouse, in the dressing room, it's all love for your teammates.
We get a text from the 573. I don't think Arenado's performance in St. Louis has justified being a silent leader. His one great season here, he did not show up when the games mattered in 2022. Donnie Baseball will impact everyone else around him more than Arenado did. Tell me I'm wrong.
You're wrong, because a leader it's not reflective on how good of a player you are. People get this misconception all the time that the best player on the team has to be the biggest leader. It's just not the truth. And, Carey, I don't know what it's like inside a football locker room, but I can tell you inside of a hockey locker room, some of the best leaders we had were third and fourth liners. Mm-hmm. Guys that went to war every night, that battled. Guys like Tony Twist played 4 shifts a game some nights, and he'd walk across the room and challenge a guy and be like, I'm playing 4 shifts a game for you to play 10, and that's the way you're playing? Better pick it up. He was obviously not the best player. So the whole idea of, well, your highest paid guy's got to be your leader, give him the captain, give him this, give him... No. That is the worst thing you can do. Make that guy, if he is your best player, make him earn being a leader. Or if he's a leader naturally, he'll show you. And if he's not, he'll show you as well. That doesn't mean he's not a good player. And just because he's a good player doesn't automatically make him a good leader.
I agree. I don't think it's necessarily the best player or the highest paid player is automatically set in stone that's your captain or your leader. That's not who that always is. Sometimes it's the person. I've said this time and time again. James Ferrier was our captain, like, of the entire team. It wasn't Ben Roethlisberger. It wasn't Hines Ward. Hines Ward would be like an associate captain, assistant captain. But James Ferrier was our captain when we called him Potsy. When Potsy spoke, you listened. Didn't matter who he was talking to. Didn't matter. It was an understanding on our team. Played middle linebacker for 15 seasons in the NFL. You damn right you listening to him. Like, that's the person that it wasn't Ben. It wasn't the quarterback. It wasn't Troy. It was James Ferrier. And that's a name that people that don't know football probably like, who? James Harrison? No, not James Harrison. James Ferrier. Like, that was our guy. And so that's the person you listen to. It was, and again, he's a star on our team, but again, outside of that, people probably wouldn't know that name. But that's the person that when he came in and spoke, everybody, all right, Potsy said it, we got to do it. It's no talk back, it's no complaining, it's no griping, it's none of that. That's what Pot Dog said. That's what we're doing. It reminds me, too, of one of my first years here in St. Louis, Craig McTavish. We just saw him a couple of years ago as assistant coach of the Blues. He was a veteran player on the last legs of his career. Wasn't even in the lineup every night. But when Craig McTavish grabbed you at practice and talked to you about something, or took you to lunch on the road and talked to you about something, like, you listened. Mm-hmm. Because he respected his body of work as a player, and he was never a star player. He was always a grinder, a hard-nosed player, but a hell of a leader, too.
James Ferrier, was he Virginia?
Yep. Drafted by the Jets first round.
Yeah.
Played, I think, 4 or 5 years there, and then played 8 or 9 years in Pittsburgh.
He's a great.
Didn't miss many games.
He was an excellent player. Waterboys Anthony, the Fastlane captain. No, that would be Andrew Marsh. That'd be Marshy.
Yeah, we give that to Marsh.
Yeah, that'd be Marshy.
Wow.
Yeah.
He's the young guy. Can the young guy be the captain?
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely, yeah.
Aye.
Wow. I consider myself more of a glue guy, but I guess that could be the captain.
Oh, you got the C. You got the C, Marshy. All right, it's Fastlane on 101 ESPN. We have your shot to score a pair of single-session tickets for the 2025 State Farm Missouri Valley Conference Men's Basketball Tournament. MVC Tournament is sitting the court March 6th through the 9th at Enterprise Center. All session and single session tickets for Arch Madness are on sale now. Text in to win 314-399-9646 or register to win now at 101ESPN.com or the 101 mobile app. Earlier in the show, actually not that long ago, we said that one of the Cardinals players was the equivalent of being facial hair of Cardinals. Said Masyn Winn's the face, but who's the facial hair? If you have the correct answer to that question, text in now, 314-399-9646, and you'll receive the Arch Madness tickets. We'll come back, tell you what we learned, wrap up the show, 3 stars of the day, criticisms, compliments, next on 101 ESPN. you missed anything from today's show, you can always download the podcast at 101ESPN.com or on our Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's 101 ESPN mobile app. All the podcasts brought to you by Schaefer Door Company. Marshy, what'd you learn today?
Well, Anthony, I'm glad you asked, because I learned that if you're going to a baseball game, you shouldn't have headphones on during the game and reach for a foul ball, knowing that your shortstop has a .984 fielding percentage and 10 errors on the year, and he has to make a routine field a routine ground ball. That's what I learned.
Good call on
That's
that.
tough.
Yeah. Carey?
Yeah. Well, I learned that Jamie and his brother had some great times growing up.
Yeah,
got into a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
they were growing up.
Yeah,
that's true.
Yeah, those guys.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Good times.
Sean is a model Canadian.
Yeah.
Yep.
Upstanding citizen.
Yep.
Great times.
Love you, Mumsy.
Yep.
Jamie, what'd you learn?
I learned that Philip Sheridan is not related to the Sheraton Hotel family at all.
Yeah.
Today.
Neither is Sherwin Williams.
I learned that it's Sherwin Williams, not Sherman.
Sherman Williams.
Yeah, Richard Sherman did not develop that painting company.
No, he could have, but he didn't.
could have, but he didn't.
He was too late.
Yeah, it was Sherwin. Yep, good stuff. All right, Marsh. Any
Yes.
criticisms and or compliments?
The 386, this person texted this in multiple times. Anthony is, I thought it said zero patient. It says patient zero. That's a criticism that you're patient zero.
Oh, yeah, he was. You were the first one. When we got sick last year, you started it.
You did.
Here's the funny part, though, and something that you guys never seem to admit. I had COVID for like the 700th time. None of you had COVID.
Yeah, but it's
so
all...
you call me patient zero, yet you didn't. Each and every one of you did not have COVID.
I had the flu.
Thank you.
You had
the flu too.
Strep throat.
Okay,
Strep
so
throat.
you two had the flu, and so did Marsh.
I didn't get strep.
So how
No, I didn't have strep.
I wasn't required to test for that.
You had strep.
I was pooping my pants a lot.
Yeah.
So you had the craps, you had strep, and you had the flu. I had COVID, so I can't be patient zero.
Yeah, but you had yours was like the umbrella.
Yeah.
So you have all of the symptoms,
Branched
and
it all
we only
out.
had like a couple. We each picked a different symptom of yours.
I don't think it works that way.
Your temperature was like 105.
Yeah.
100,
which means you were...
I think it was like 108.
You were seeing things.
That's when I realized Kristen does not care about me. What, are you sick?
I'm dying.
I was seeing things that weekend.
You were almost the turtle on the side of the road.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Almost. Yeah.
Or
Anyways. Or the blue heron.
I wonder what the next animal to have that fate will be. We'll come across.
I don't know.
Let's hope not.
Yeah.
You know?
Right.
We get a text from the 816. Anthony's sitting in section 305.
Yes. Yes, I was.
A new restaurant. That, FedEx Brian. Criticisms and compliments. All it says is USA. USA. USA.
What?
He didn't say the words?
He didn't say the words.
No, I did the thing with you guys.
But you didn't say the words.
You didn't say the words, though.
I
You didn't
stopped
say
when you got-
USA.
Well, let's try it again.
All right,
Ready?
right.
USA. USA.
Nope.
Why are you guys stopping?
He's not saying anything.
But you guys are stopping. Why would I keep going?
Why would you just mouth it?
I did.
Oh,
Hey, Jamie, why don't you lead us off?
Yeah.
You go ahead.
Yeah, go ahead, Jamie.
Oh,
We knew it.
our home and native land.
We knew it.
Start speaking French now, too.
Mais oui. Si jamais quand je parle français.
Do you know how to sing the Canadian anthem in French?
Oh, yeah. Oh, Canada, terre de nos aïeux, ton front essaie de fleurs glorieux.
Well done.
You're all welcome. Everybody, you're welcome.
I appreciate that.
Well done.
USA,
USA, USA.
There you go.
Eh?
He did it that time.
But I was spelling it USA.
Gary, when you go over to his house,
I got you.
take notes.
Yeah.
Let us know because
Please do,
I think
Kerry.
he's leaning Oh, Canada.
I'm glad that we have an insider that will be at the Rivers house tonight.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, it's a win-win for him. They
How
already
do you
said
guys know Carey won't come down wearing the Canadian Speedo? You just don't, you know?
Carey bleeds red, white, and blue, baby.
Yeah, orange and blue, actually. Orange and blue.
Well, like
fire up a line.
More like purple, white, and black.
Whoa!
Yeah, we know you.
Whoa!
We know you, Lamar lover.
That's like you loving the Dave Matthews Band, isn't that right, Anthony?
Even that little promo that we do, it's like
favorite band of all time.
How many instruments can you jam into one song?
Yeah, all of them. Jam them all in
it's
there.
artistic. It's great. No, it's not. It's terrible. Go ahead, Marsh.
All right, 3 stars of the day, real quick. Our 3rd star of the day goes out to facial hair.
Yes.
2nd star, Jim Montgomery's humor.
Yes.
And the 1st star of the day goes out to those desperate housewives.
That's right.
Yes.
Wisteria Lane.
From Wisteria Lane.
Yeah.
That's right.
What a great spot that was.
Yeah.
All right, we have got Team USA, Team Canada pregame show starting in about 5 minutes, and we will have the game coverage for you. The puck will drop about 7 o'clock. Fire up USA. For Andrew Marsh, Jamie Rivers, and Carey Davis, I'm Anthony Stalter. See ya.